Lord Dog.
Do you have any oat milk? We are lactose intolerant.
Hello and welcome to Lore Dump, the show where we take someone who hasn't played a game and walk them through the full story. I am Neil, your host for today, and I am joined by my good friends
Spider-Man! Chase.
Oh, and
Spider-Man! Monty.
Monty. What you got on there, bud?
It's a Spider-Man mask.
It sure is.
You're not happy with my Spider-Man mask?
A photo of this may well make its way into.
I think
into
it's
the
disappointing
Discord.
that you both don't have Spider-Man masks, especially you as the narrator, Neil. Do you not love Spider-Man?
I love Spider-Man enough to be able to see my scripts.
It's the best part that this mask is such like loose, not even like spandex, just like stretchy material that it's drooping on one side, so one of your eyes is like
melting.
a solid 2 inch. Spider-Man's having a stroke. Spider-Man's face is drooping.
Strong start.
We are Spider-Man.
Oh boy.
So if Monty's audio sounds shit,
Sorry, I'm going to take the mask
he's
off.
talking through a fucking mask.
I'm taking the mask off.
Have we bullied you out of the mask?
Oh no.
Oh,
We like the mask.
I love this mask. I have worn this mask just around the house.
Welcome to Lore Dump. This is
That
the
was-
show where we take someone who hasn't played a game and walk them through the full story. That person in question
Not a game franchise?
is our friend Chase. This is a game franchise.
This is not a game franchise.
This is the
just a
third game,
game.
Chase.
This is the third game.
That officially makes it a franchise.
Yeah. Now, you've been enjoying these so far. You're
Yeah,
you're
they're fun.
particularly fond of Miles in the last game,
I
weren't
started
you?
playing Miles. I've not gotten very far, but I started playing it.
Cool.
I've had some fun swinging about.
Cool. That's the best bit.
It's
I
what
mean,
the
the
games
stories
are.
are great,
I
but
think I got to PD's tech challenges, and then that's the last thing I did.
you only have to do one of those mandatory, I think.
Oh yeah, but they were fun.
They
Oh,
do.
right. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
They're good, and they unlock some of Peter's skills from the end game of the first game. So by the end of them, Miles is brought up to Pete's level as a standard
I
Spider-Man.
didn't actually know that. but-
Yeah, no, you get really cool upgrades for doing them.
Yeah. So today we are going to be covering the main sequel to the first game,
Gasp.
Spider-Man 2.
Gasp. Yeah. Wow.
And as we can see from this image on screen, we are playing as both Spider-Man.
Both Spider-Man.
Both Spider-Man.
Damn it. Oh Jesus.
Oh, Monty's brought out his 19 inches,
His 19
his
inches.
19 inches.
He's whipped it out. It's on the table.
Famously, friends, the collector's edition of this game came with a 19 inches of Venom.
And no physical disc.
And no physical
Did it really?
disc.
Yes, still
Yeah,
angry about
that
it.
is a
£200.
worrying
Jesus
trend.
Christ.
However, it is an amazing statue.
It is really
It is
cool.
a very good statue.
Yeah.
I'm slightly bothered by the fact that it wobbles a little, but you know, outside of that, it's very forward heavy.
What's quite cool was I got to you get to take Spider-Man out, and then you get to put him back into Venom. There you go. He's
This is great for our audio listeners and our video
You can
listeners.
take him out and put him back in and out and in.
Is this going to be a distraction if it's on the table?
I'm going to take it away.
Maybe. I'm very easily distractible.
So, what do you remember about the end of the first game, the end of the second game, the kind of state of play of the world?
I remember, perhaps most relevant. I was saying off mic. I know a bunch of weird scattered things from this, just because this was so hyped and excited, and I remember like the E3 demo and stuff.
Yeah.
Not E3, rip E3.
Yeah, it
Whatever
was. Yeah, I think it was.
Was it
the
actually
last
an
I think it was
E3.
maybe a
Oh.
state of play, perhaps.
maybe it was a state
Yeah,
of
maybe.
play, yeah.
No, but I think probably most relevant for this game is Harry Osborn,
Okay.
sick, and
As in he's a cool guy, or
nah, he's dying. Maybe.
we learned that in the previous game.
Yeah, I
was
think-
that
I think
he wasn't in fact
Pete thinks that he's off
in Europe.
in Europe, yeah, but he's in fact in the Oscorp labs, dying and being covered in spooky black goo. Ooh. That his dad Norman thinks is the cure is goo, and given the 19 inches I'm staring at, you know, I think I might know what that goo is, and not just because, you know, also the trailers
Yeah.
fully just tell you what the goo is.
Yeah, they didn't hide.
Might be a little symbiotic.
They didn't hide the inclusion of Venom in this game, did they?
It was the teaser trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the first thing we heard.
Oh, yeah,
Tony
coming out of
talk,
an alley, wasn't
coming
it?
out of an alley, going
Yeah.
like, it's
excuse
Yeah.
me.
sorry, it's not a spoiler. It's just the teaser trailer. You hear a voice being like, "I'm on a hunt and I'm going to kill everybody," and it's like, "Will no one face me?" And then you just hear Venom's like voice, and then that Tony Todd rasp, and he just goes, "Yes," and then it cuts to Spider-Man 2. It's a great teaser trailer.
In terms of like what I know going in, I remember the demo where it's like them both fighting Lizard as he goes through the waterways. I think Eagle, Falcon, whatever the fuck his name is there. Maybe.
Don't know who that is, but
I don't know. The fly.
I think you've invented someone.
I know
Birdman.
who you're
I
thinking
know what
of.
you mean,
Yeah,
but no.
I don't. Oh,
Falcon's
maybe.
not in this game.
And I have definitely seen pictures of both Peter with the Venom suit and Harry with the Venom suit. I have no clue how it goes to. Well, I assumedly know how it goes to Harry. No clue how it then goes to Pete.
What
That's
do you
all
mean?
I
Pete's
know.
in a red suit. Look at the screenshot. So,
Yeah.
Are we ready to begin? Just helpfully, in case I've asked you for a recap, but the game does give us the option of a recap. We hear a voiceover
Fabulous.
and see some of the events of the previous games. Miles Morales says, "Hey Pete, I'm working on a college application, and it says I got to tell them about myself. More like sell yourself. It's the worst," says Pete. "You got any advice?" "Well, take me. Hi, I'm Peter Parker. I'm 25 years old, I have a bachelor's degree in biophysics, and I'm in love with the greatest woman ever." "Humble brag," says Miles. "Who's the best journalist in the city. Word, go MJ. I try to live up to the example set by the other greatest woman ever, my Aunt May." "Humble brag again. Damn," says Miles. "And a while back, I was bitten by a radioactive spider and got superpowers."
I don't know. If
"I
you
can't
can
put
sit
that
on
in
a
my
college
essay. "Hey, I'm laying down the track as I drive the train. I've used my powers to help the city and stop a lot of people who wanted to hurt it, like my mentor, Dr. Otto Octavius."
Now that I think about it, wait, didn't he put that on his college app in the Spider-Man movies, the MCU ones?
I don't remember.
Didn't his MIT application, they're like, "Oh, we're not going to get you. Wait, you're Spider-Man? Okay, come
No,
in.
no. It's complete opposite. In the Spider-Man movies, they didn't let him in because he's Spider-Man because his secret identity gets revealed to the world.
That's why you can't put it on your college app.
Yeah.
Fuck college essays.
Otto's lab got shut down by an old colleague, Norman Osborn. Otto retaliated by releasing a bioweapon. In the end, I managed to stop Otto, but not without great cost. That was pretty good. But I'm no Peter Parker. Exactly. You're Miles Morales. You're 17 years old, a student at Brooklyn Visions Academy. What else? I guess I help out with my mom's work in Harlem every now and again. She's Councilwoman Rio Morales. And there's a girl I like who's spectacular and inspiring, and I think is one of the best artists in the city. Remember who this is? Haley.
I do, yes.
Yeah. And I also got bitten by a radioactive spider that maybe gave me superpowers. I learned how to be a spider.
he doesn't know. He doesn't know. Maybe it's just puberty.
I learned how to be Spider-Man from the OG, but I learned how to be a hero from my dad. He was killed by Martin Lee in the City Hall bombing. The good I try to do every day is the good my dad planted in me. It's been hard, even with superpowers. Sometimes we can't save the people we love, no matter how hard we try. A hero's someone who doesn't give up, though, and I don't plan to. I don't know, man. I can't talk about me without talking about Spider-Man. Sure you can. You just have to, why don't we start another draft? Act 1. Prologue. 2 years ago. This is our start screen for the game, actually. And we see
It's very gooey. I wonder what that could be.
a young man standing pensively in front of a green goop tank.
It's quite cool, Chase, because you press X and literally it just moves straight into the cutscene from that. The start screen is the cutscene.
that's
It's really
really
cool.
good.
Yeah.
The thing that frustrates me is maybe this is coming from the old movies. I see a green goop tank in an Oscorp lab, and I think we're going Green Goblin, but that's not what's in the goop tank.
Where is Goblin?
Where is?
Yeah.
I can't remember if I've heard if he's in this game. I don't actually have any fucking clue. I know at least in the comics that both Harry and Norman have been.
I don't think I mind telling you
Him.
he's not.
No.
I don't want you to have your
No.
hopes up for this.
To be fair, I also feel like those original movies have fully set him up in my brain just forever as like the main Spider-Man villain. I don't think he is.
He is like
yeah.
he's up there. I think Otto Octavius is for me personally. I think I prefer Otto as the main Spider-Man villain.
Green
But
Goblin's
Gobby is
definitely
a big
the
deal.
one
Gobby.
who's done
Yeah.
the most bad stuff. To
I mean,
Peter.
remember Gobby kills Gwen Stacy in the canon.
Yeah.
Gobby, not to be
and
confused
also-
with Gibby Chevrolet.
Also has a kid with her.
Yeah.
His father, Norman Osborn, enters the lab. We're ready. Are you good? Promise me something, Harry says. Anything. If this doesn't work, take me out. It'll work. I don't have a lot of time left. I want a chance to say goodbye. I'm not going to lose you.
Wait, is this in the past or is this
2 years ago.
okay? I was about to say because the last time we saw Harry, he was very definitely in a bed in a coma.
I'm not going to lose you, says Norman. I will never let you go. Black tendrils creep their way up Norman's arms and begin to engulf his son's face,
Right.
like going into his mouth and all over his proper horror stuff. Harry screams. We see a flash of Harry again in the tank now. Black goo covering every part of him as he rides in the liquid. And we cut.
It's a weird implication there that Norman has the black goo on
It
him.
never really comes up
Never
again.
comes back. I've seen interpretations that this is in fact just a dream that Harry
yeah.
has, which is a fair reading
This
of
is
it.
basically how it might have happened, except
Yeah.
it would be weird for Norman to have the
goo.
given the rest of the story.
The mysterious goo. What could it be?
I'm sure this will be explained.
Medical goo.
Medical goo.
I'm sure this will be explained later. But for my context, in the comics, the symbiote is an alien life form, right?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm trying to question whether Norman found it or whether in this canon Oscorp developed it.
In the Ultimate Comics, Oscorp developed it. So there are different retellings of
Okay.
the story.
And this story takes from both the regular and Ultimate and makes its own stuff up. So it's a valid point to raise. We don't know
Yeah.
at this point.
Okay.
Present day. Miles sits in the classroom, looking anxiously at a blank college application on his screen. Stop rolling your eyes. Monty doesn't like this plotline.
Get used to the college application, chicks.
Is that literally his entire plot
No,
line?
it's not his entire plotline.
Oh, no.
60% of his entire plotline.
It's just a framing device for this. Anyway, the bell rings and his classmates join him. Haley and Genki. So Haley is his friend that he has a crush on.
My homie.
And Genki's the
I love
best.
Genki.
Yeah, they sit
My
near.
boy, look at that bucket hat.
Yeah. Pete signs what's up. They obviously they can all speak ASL. So when I'm speaking for all of them, they are always signing to Haley and her back. What's up? The door bursts open and suddenly Peter Parker, dressed in his most respectable sweater, comes crashing into the classroom.
It's a good look.
I'm
I like
here.
it.
I'm here. Principal Evans stands at the front of the class. Good morning, class. We have a new teacher joining us today. Hi, my name is Pete, Mr. Parker, and we are all very lucky here today because this is physics class, and physics is awesome. Jesus, Pete. But Miles spots like a little bit of red soup peeking up from under his shirt and kind of goes, and Pete turns around away from the class to tuck it back in. Ever wonder how some insects and birds, reptiles can just run right across a pond? 2 words, surface tension.
Pete, are we not like, what are we learning about today?
Did you not come up with a lesson plan?
Are you not doing like a registration? Who's
Surface
here?
tension.
He's walking
Registration
in. The
is-
principal is watching. Also, I'm sorry, registration?
We did hang on.
fuck is registration?
You also were in Scottish schools. We did registration at the start of the day. No,
What is
No,
registration?
every single class does registration to make sure you're not skipping classes you don't like.
You mean attendance?
Attendance. It's
Why
called
is it called
registration.
registration? What
Because
are you
you're registering for the class.
Because
No,
our
you're
country-
not. You
because our-
registered for the class at the start of the year.
Because our country's a million years old.
Yes. But it doesn't matter. No lesson plan, no registration, no proof that even his pupils have
It's
pencils and
private
pens.
school.
Does anybody need
It's
a pencil or
private
pen?
school.
Okay,
You
we're
take
just sticking in
attendance
with
Maybe
certain
it's
once a
stuff.
day in homeroom.
This
This
is
stand for second and
visions.
third period.
Brooklyn
Oh, they're
versus-
at Brooklyn
Page
Village.
2, by the way.
Wait, I thought in the last game he used to go to Brooklyn Visions, but then he moved to Queens.
Other way round. He and Finn went to primary school together. He got into Brooklyn Visions. She didn't. So they moved to Harlem, partly for Rio's job as well after his dad died. He now he got a scholarship to the private school, Brooklyn Visions.
Okay, and just for my clarity, that's the same school from the Spider-Verse.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yes,
Yeah.
cool.
Talented,
Grand.
techie kids.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, cool. From our seat, we can notice outside what looks like a growing kind of wind, gusts of wind, and on that wind, sand.
Ooh.
Wait, what?
Miles jumps.
Oh, yeah, that's a guy. I forgot that was a guy for a second. I'm like, is he having like beach dreams?
That famous villain sand guy.
You haven't mentioned Miles's new cut. He's got new hair.
That's because I didn't want to call it the Killmonger cut.
Yes,
I did.
yeah.
we are all uniquely unqualified to talk about that.
Yeah,
Blessing
I did
Adeoye.
notice it. I just didn't want to bring up the whole controversy that every seemingly
Yes.
black person in pop culture for like 5 years had the same haircut.
If you want to hear somebody qualified to talk about it, look up Blessing Adeoye Jr. He makes an excellent video on why, yes, this is a bad cut.
Miles looks good though. He jumps to his feet and just in the middle of Pete's sentence, he's like, "Bathroom." Okay. And he kind of shuffles his way out. Now, surface tension is all about cohesion. Now, in equation form, surface tension, gamma, and as Pete kind of rambles on, we start to hear the sound of sirens outside as a sandy gust gently blows against the windows with like little bits of specks of sand coming into the classroom. One of the students goes up and closes the window. F divided by the length, L of the line. Can anybody? Miles bursts back into the room. "I need your help." And everyone like starts laughing. And there's an ASL, someone signing at the front of the class, obviously an interpreter for Haley. And she like interprets it. It just feels like super mean.
I need your help.
He like runs back from the bathroom to ask for help, and everyone starts laughing at him. Mr. Morales, is it? "I'm sure. Are you sure this isn't something you can handle yourself?" He nods. "I'm sure."
Why are they hiding that they know each other? They could know each other from so many They don't even originally know each other from Spider-Man. They originally know each other from fucking...
It's degrees of separation, though,
Yeah.
just to make sure
More
nobody
points,
connects
more
the
points
two.
of failure.
Yeah.
Like just.
I guess.
I take your point. They already have a cover story that he's his tutor in other parts of their life. Like,
There's
yeah.
that. There's the fact they met doing charity.
Yeah.
There's so many things.
Yeah. Peter tells the class to go and read chapter 4 or chapter 5 or whatever the fuck.
Just Google surface tension.
Get
Google
ChatGPT
it.
up.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a YouTube video that will teach you it.
We run out into the corridor together and up to the rooftop. Pete is like begging Miles. He's like, "I need this job." This is his first day on this job. If the principal comes back and sees I'm gone, I am going to get fired. I know, but you've got to see this. They head up to the roof and look out over the city where there is a ginormous sandstorm kind of engulfing Manhattan.
I thought the whole point of having two Spider-Men was so that Pete could have like a normal job.
Well, he booked a buddy class at the exact same time as the other one. This is Pete looks at the storm and goes, "Marco, why today? I am getting so fired." They get changed, and well, they've both got their suits on underneath, because of course they do, and swing out into the city. "Principal Evans already hates me for being late this morning." Good.
Good. She hates you. Good. Get fucking fired. Fuck you, Pete.
You weren't a good teacher anyway. Where was the lesson plan?
Still warming up. "Principal Evans already hates me for being late this morning." "Bro, I told you to be on time," Miles says. "It's fine. We'll be back before we know it." "Good, because I have to finish my college application review with the school counselor." "Have you finished your essay?" "Haven't started."
Remind me their respective ages.
Coming up 30.
25 and 17.
I'm trying.
Is he not coming up 30?
He said in the opening, "I'm Peter Parker,
Oh.
I'm 25.
I'm trying to decide: is Miles really mature or is Pete really immature? That they both basically feel the same age.
Pete is a disaster.
So he says he hasn't started his essay. Okay, let's get into the city and take care of Marco real quick. MJ calls. "Hey, MJ. Hey, guys. You might want to get downtown fast. We're swinging through Brooklyn now. Jameson have you on the ground for the bugle? Still can't believe old Triple J is your new boss."
I was about to say, I thought that he left the Bugle or got fired or something.
MJ sighs, really loving the new regime.
He had a Christmas podcast last game.
He did.
Yeah. Yeah, so when we last saw him, yeah, you're right. He had his own independent podcast, but now it seems like he's returned to the Daily Bugle.
In fact, there's billboards up all over the city, Daily Bugle billboards, which are like, he's back! And it's an angry-looking picture of Jameson. It's really fun.
MJ says she's really loving the new regime. You'll whip him into shape no time, says Peter. So what's up with Marco? It's been years since our last showdown. According to eyewitnesses, he was running around down Broadway, yelling nonsense. They say he seemed angry and paranoid, delusional. He just exploded. Hopefully we can calm him down a bit. MJ says she's seen people lose control like this. Be careful. Good thing there are 2 Spider-Men now. Miles says they might need the new tech they've been cooking up, but Pete says no way. It's no untested, barely prototypes. But you brought him, right? No comment. In the middle of Manhattan, here we are, swinging towards the city. So yeah, we'll just say this now. It's a larger map than the last 2 games. So we've added in a couple of different boroughs, including Queens. So we can now cross the river
Nice.
To help facilitate this bigger city. There are now kind of gusts of New York wind going throughout the city, which will help us swinging around.
New York, famously that windy city.
It's a windy city.
Nowhere else.
New York's a windy city,
It's
right?
New York is the windy city. Nowhere else.
It's not got the name, but you know. Anyway.
What do you want? Big apples flying through this?
Yes, actually, I want him to fly into an apple, like a little wormhole in an apple.
So as we can see, as we approach, like this part of the city is being wrecked. There's just like, it's like a sandstorm has come through here.
Does he turn things into sand, or I thought it was just he was made of sand.
He is made of sand.
He ate the sand fruit.
Yeah.
God, I've been making a lot of fucking One Piece jokes recently.
Oh, is that a One Piece joke? Okay.
That was a One Piece joke, yes.
In the middle of the city stands a colossus of sand, Flint Marco, the Sandman.
Sand guy.
Sand guy.
Sand boy.
Sand boy. Sandy boy.
I like how, wait, if you go back, he's doing the Salt Bay. He's sprinkling a bit of sand in the city.
That's exactly it. This is hard to capture in screenshot form. This looks great. It's one
a
of the
great
best looking
fight.
openings to a game I've ever played.
They were really using that PS5 particle.
Well, this one was exclusively on the PS5, and
Good.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if this is a hot take. Stop fucking making
it's
PS4
not.
games. The PS5 has been the worst generation of gaming purely because they think nobody owns a fucking PS5. Weirdly, everybody's like, "Oh, why is my games not coming out on PS4?" Because the PS4 was 10 fucking years ago. Let's have new tech.
I agree.
What Wonder Stop's a PS5 only game? That's not out on PS4. It's out on Steam too.
I'm trying to think how
Great
many
game.
like actually like
Play Wonder
Stop
Stop.
talking
like,
about Wonder
current generation games exclusively that were not also released on like.
Look, I agree. But we're fighting Sandman right
And
now.
we're already fucking hearing there's a PS6 coming soon. Everybody get PC Master Race. Fuck assholes. Fuck.
It's worth us pointing out, everybody, that we are recording on our fancy XLR mics, and we have a Rodecaster
I will
soundboard
fight you.
that Neil is in complete charge of right now, and Neil can turn off and censor chase at any point.
And Neil hates the PC.
I agree fully with you. And this game is why I brought it up, the PS5. It's one of the only times I've ever felt like, oh, this is part of the generational skip. And it's a feature you will almost never use. So there is fast travel in these games, in all of them. Most of the time, you're never going to use it unless you're like trophy hunting at the end, maybe, and you're just trying to wrap it up. But you can jump between subway stations.
What
as
if
you
I
unlock them.
what if I hate swinging on webs, so I always use it?
Well,
You can.
yeah, I guess then
You
it's
can.
probably the wrong game for you. I'm not gonna lie. So one of the kind of features of the new SSD that was advertised at the PS5 is that it is literally instantaneous. It is remarkable the first time you see it. The screen blacks out, blacks in, you're somewhere else.
No, it's even
great.
better than that. You're actually underselling it. It's in the map. You do it. You
Yeah,
pick
you're
a
right,
specific
you're right.
location in the map, anywhere you want. It's not fast travel points, and it will zoom it through the map. You will see the city as it zooms through,
That's right.
and then it will then close in on the Spider-Man as they're swinging through the city, or maybe doing push-ups on the side of a wall or something like that. It's so cool. Yeah.
You're right. It's a bit more like the GTA 5 thing if it was
Yeah.
absolutely instantaneous.
Just good.
Yeah. So Marco is swinging his arms at us. Still angry after all these years, Marco? You should try yoga. Marco throws Pete through an office building. as we run through the high-rise office, dodging punches and rescuing civilians. We're
Yeah.
kind of grabbing people up as he's punching through the walls. Sand minions rise from the ground for Peter to deal with. So Marco can also sort of create secondary...
Oh, he's a god.
He can, yeah.
create life.
Marco the Sand God.
I think it's implied these are all sort
He's
of a part,
breeding the sand.
part of his mind, maybe.
Yeah.
Like these are part of him. It's not new life, but he can create these forms out of sand. Mini
Why
Marcos.
Pete so dummy thick there?
Notably as well, just on the note of
Doobie tell me things.
Sandman creating like mini Marcos. In Spider-Man 1, it is not important and it's like a tiny thing, but one of the backpacks that you find, collectible backpacks, inside is a test tube and inside that is a piece of Sandman sand. So Pete has like locked away a piece of Flint Marco in a backpack for, I don't know, a decade.
Well, that's a good question because this is Marco having like gathered a lot of sand almost.
Yeah.
So like that, I don't know if that means that the sand that is a part of him in that moment is always going to be part of him. So like he could maybe let go of a bit and it goes back. It's just sand.
Yeah, it's not like his finger is in a test tube or something.
Yeah.
It's just sand that
But it
he
is
was
a-
using.
Oh, we know the part of the people in the test tube.
Oh, no. Mini Marcos?
His evil taint.
I meant to censor myself there. I meant to say his. Anyway, Miles is swinging around outside. You're kind of swinging in between the office and outside the office, rescuing people. Miles says he set Mr. Airsick down, but not before he barfed on my suit. He's not the only one. Sandman just puked up some new friends. He can do that now? So this is a new thing that Sandman can do. As Pete fights the minions, of course, we get a phone call. Sorry, who is this? Principal Evans. Of course, Principal Evans. All students have evacuated their classrooms. Where are you? Mr. Parker? I forgot something in my car. What was that? Nothing. I'm just... And we kind of lose contact with her.
I feel like you somehow just get like an NDA when you join a new job as a superhero and you're like, look, this is gonna affect my attendance. I'm sorry,
I'm literally
nothing I can do about it. But also, you can't fucking tell anybody I will sue.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also you shouldn't be a teacher if you're Spider-Man.
Well, I mean, this isn't paying.
Yeah.
He needs some kind of... and the job market in this New York is just very difficult, it seems. But you need, I don't know, some kind of work from home, make your own hours type gig. I don't know.
Something sciencey.
Something like, I don't
He had
know,
a
freelance
great-
photography.
He had his dream science job. It was for no money. The guy turned evil, It's so sad.
And Pete just can't do anything without Daddy Ock.
Yeah, they took a holiday to Simcaria, which ended up being like aiding a militia group rebelling against the fascist dictatorship.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, that's what
In Miles
happens in
Morales.
Miles Morales. That's
What?
where Pete goes. He goes to
I
Symbiosis.
remember Simcaria. I just don't remember him.
a Civil War.
because that's fucking what's her name?
Yeah,
Silver
He
Sable.
helps. What's her name? That's
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
right.
because MJ went to write a book on it. Yeah.
So they're back now. MJ has done that. We'll speak about that in a minute. Pete, as he's kind of getting a bit overwhelmed by these Sand minions, can activate Spider Barrage, which is basically 4 metal arms come out of his back.
I'm sorry.
we'll
Is
see
he
it
Doc
later on.
Ocken?
It's very Doc
inspired
Ock
by Doc
coded.
Ock. He gets these sort of metal arms that can come out and whip around and strike a group of enemies.
Yeah. It's a famous thing from the comics. It's a whole suit from the Civil War
You saw it
series.
in the MCU as well, like the Iron Man armor he gets. Yeah.
Yeah. Please tell me it's not made of nanoparticles.
No.
Fuck nanoparticles.
Actually, I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah, because they come
Probably.
from nothing.
Where the hell is it?
Yeah.
Damn it.
And we have been introduced to kind of nano and programmable matter in the last 2 games, haven't
Give
we?
superheroes physical masks.
We reconnect with Principal Evans. Get back here and supervise your students or else. That does not sound good. Pete actually says here, Otto's old research really came through for these arms. So it's like directly, not just inspired by, he's directly pulled it from the research. Yeah.
Wait, so is it literally the same tech that also made Otto crazy because they hadn't figured out the neural
No.
link?
No, because
Or has he finally finished the neural link?
Good question. The actual nitty gritty of it doesn't come up too much because it's not a big part of this story. I think
They're
it's
just going to ignore the fact that was the key part of what made Otto insane.
That is actually a really good point, Chase. I've never considered before because I was like, oh no, like the arms, they just kind of flail around. They don't. They do numerous important things as like the tentacles did.
Which was
just don't overthink
the
it.
main point.
Pete did seem to be close to working out a solution at the end of that first game.
Good point. Yeah.
And that was a while ago. So maybe we'll assume that he's just done that. And it's not
Otto just couldn't wait 2 weeks.
And actually I would maybe argue that these don't have to be controlled by his brain in the same way, linked to the brain. They just need to like strike out at enemies. So you could have these be programmed to an extent. I don't think this has to be Neuralink. Pete doesn't have a chip or anything. I would say these could just be like AI or fucking combat.
He pushes a button in his suit and they flail.
That's it. Yeah. I think that's basically how they work, isn't it? Yeah. Miles calls Pete. Principal Evans called. Oh man, am I getting expelled? You're just cutting class. I abandoned students during a citywide emergency. Yeah, you're screwed, agrees Miles. Marco reaches into the building and grabs Pete in his colossal hand. Sandman! I always hated that name. I know you're very angry at me. This has nothing to do with you. Leave me alone. I want to help you, but it's going to hurt first. Pete pulls a water pipe down on the hand, like he's being held in this big hand.
Wait, why'd Pete call him? I thought Pete's whole thing was he never called them by their names.
No, he does. Pete makes a real point of never calling the supervillains by their supervillain name if he can help it.
So why do you call him Sandman?
Well, yeah, you can use Sandman sometimes. That's fine, but like he focuses on using the
he does.
The terms.
He said Marco as well.
Yeah, he said Marco.
It's never a textual rule that he never says.
Yeah, it's not a textual rule. It's just something he prefers to do.
Yeah,
because
he is trying to get through to them usually.
Yeah.
So he pulls a water pipe down his arm, which obviously damages the dry, sandy hand, and he manages to escape. They work together using a mixture of water around the city and Miles's venom. He's using surface tension. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
To like dampen bits of the giant Sandman and then electrify it, and it kind of crystallizes bits of him and bits of him fly off. No idea if this is hurting him. I don't know how much this hurts him. Genki helps us, telling us where to find like water sources around the place. And he finds a large water tank on top of the Matheson building, which should do the trick.
And this is the only way to hurt a Sandman.
Yeah. Sandman is talking throughout this. I just want to live normal, like everyone else. This isn't the way, Marco. For a guy like me, there is no other way. I just wanted a regular life. You can still have one. It's too late now. We switch between Spider Boys, fighting sand minions in the devastated ruins of the surrounding skyscrapers, all while dodging the giant's attacks. Why couldn't Marco just make sandcastles instead? Rio Morales calls. Miles says he's fine, he's with Pete. I know, she says, you're on every channel. I'm heading downtown to help coordinate resources and supplies. Is Genki covering for you at school? He is, but I've got my meeting with my counselor later, and the principal thinks that listen, I can talk to your principal, says Rio, but New York needs you right now.
I forget. Rio knows.
Yes.
Like,
yeah, she found out.
Basically, the whole of Queens knows.
Yeah.
15 people in
Harlem.
In Harlem know.
In Harlem, that's right.
Pete lives in Queens.
That's right.
Yeah. Coolest mom ever, he thinks. I wish I could just write about this for my essay. Then I'd get the college I wanted. Or Spider-Man would. Right, focus, Miles. With Genki's help, we draw the giant towards the water tower, and the boys dump the contents onto his head. Sandman begins to collapse to the ground, wet kind of clumps of sand hitting the street with a thud. Just as they think they've done it, a cyclone of sand lifts Pete into the air and carries him across the city and drops him high over the river. Pete, break out the new toys! The suit's latest patch software wasn't stable, but here goes nothing. We get a button to deploy web wings, which are, you'll have seen in the comics, he has the little underarm strip of webbing. This is essentially, we can glide now.
He's a frog.
Yeah, he's a flying squirrel. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we can glide around the city. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's I like web wings. I like the fact that, so the good thing about web wings are, you'd think, oh, this is just going to replace swinging. It's going to take all the fun out of it. No. Unless you are using them in tandem with swinging or with the air tunnels, you lose height almost immediately. So you're not flying across the city. They're gliding as a gliding tool. It's a really well implemented mechanic. I like it a lot.
What remains of Marco is sort of crossing the river, heading for Pier 4 Beach. What happens if he gets all that sand, wonders Miles. I think he just did. Once more, the titanic shape of Sandman emerges, throwing a hurricane of sand Pete's way. He flies through the middle of it, dodging debris and like bits of collapsing building caught up in the storm. Innocent people are in danger, Marco. You care about them, but not me. They wouldn't listen to Marco, but they can't ignore Sandman. Yeah. Fight through the last of the sand minions, and the storm that is being generated by Marco is like generating lightning as well. So Miles absorbs this. Pete deploys his like metal arms and focuses the four into a point, and Miles stands behind him and directs all of the lightning through the arms, and they fire a beam, a concentrated beam at Marco.
They figured out how to make lasers.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Shooting him through his heart,
Straight killing him. Straight up murder. Fuck compassion.
It's all right, there's a piece of him in that test tube. They can bring him back. It's fine.
They stand like this part of the city is like.
It's the part that creates life anyway.
This part of the city is like temporarily just like ruined. It's just like it's like the streets are like a beach. But
I don't know how New York is not always just in ruins. With every week there's a new supervillain doing something.
It's one of the things that makes Invincible so fun, is that like they really hammer the whole concept of superheroes in this world. What is it like to live in this world?
Oh yeah, it's very fun.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah.
They stand there like sand still raining down from the sky, and Miles says, "I have sand everywhere."
I hate sand. Of course. It's everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what this part of the city looks like for a while.
It's a beach holiday.
Yeah, except all the kind of infrastructure's fucked.
Who needs it?
Sorry. All of the and there are gangs sort of opportunistically taking advantage of the lack of infrastructure and response from the emergency services to rob and blah 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 blah. We see Marco being held in a secure container, and the boys approach him. Marco, it's going to be okay. I haven't been okay for a long time. If you need help, all you have to do is ask. You're the ones who are going to need help when they come for you. He's taken away. The Spider-Man left to wonder who he could mean.
It's an interesting parallel with Fisk's final words of Spider-Man 1, right? It's like, you know, this foreshadowing of a greater threat right from your opening.
6 months ago, in a rainforest, a large and macho hunter man is stalking through the undergrowth. He finds some blood on a leaf and does the thing where he touches it to his mouth.
Yum, yum, yum,
That's
yum,
what
yum,
you
yum.
want to do, I guess.
He noms the blood.
He noms the blood. Hearing a noise ahead, the large man draws a knife and advances. Seeing a figure in the brush, he approaches. You grow slow in your old age, Sergei.
Is this Craven?
He stabs the figure, revealing it to be nothing but a well-positioned coat. The camera pans behind him to show an even larger and more manly man behind him. A fate you will not share, says Craven.
I was right.
The
Look
man-
at me knowing
you were-
Spider-Man villains.
You were wrong. The guy wasn't Craven.
Okay, but the scenario was Craven.
It's very much set up to make you think it is.
Yeah.
The man takes a futile swing at Sergei, who bats it away, lifting him up by the throat. The man thrashes desperately. I've been in your shadow for hours, says Craven, but you sensed nothing. With one hand, Craven the Hunter breaks the man's neck and tosses him to the floor with disgust.
What a cool guy. They should make a movie about him. I think it'd be great.
Pathetic. His sort of Craven's other hunters emerge from the trees around them. I ask for an equal, and this is what you find. One of them holds up like an iPad with a map of Manhattan showing various superpowered individuals based around the city. Sir, perhaps a new hunting ground? Craven smiles to himself. Light the fires. The great hunt begins. That's actually when we get our title card, Spider-Man 2.
I'm sorry, he's Craven our main villain in this game.
Back in the city.
Okay, sure. What is Craven's deal in the comics? What's his motivations?
He likes to hunt.
He
that
likes to hunt.
He likes to hunt.
And he likes to hunt humans?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, superpowered beings, but humans as well. Yeah.
Yeah. He likes to hunt.
Yep.
And anything's on the table.
We'll learn a little bit more, but not that much more.
I love Craven
Same.
as a villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a great villain. I think he's become a great villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to have complicated motivations.
No,
He's
just wants to kill things.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's deeply spiritual in the comics, Craven. He's really interesting character.
Yeah. Back in present day, Miles is helping people trapped in the sandstorm. He looks to his phone to see there's no connection to their friendly neighborhood app because all the blooming cell towers are down or whatever.
Sand.
Yes, and we make our way through the city, helping people as we go. Genki says it's going to be hours before the telecom network's back up. So we are going to create our own network. I left this in so that Chase could tell us if this sounds realistic or not, because I don't know.
Is this just kernel panic again?
That's a big job, says Pete. How long have you been planning this? Well, dreaming about it since 7th grade, says Genki, but planning the last 2 minutes or so. Genki directs us to a nearby rooftop, which is home to some scientific equipment. These are like environmental launchers for studying the atmosphere for high altitude weather sensors. And this startup just gave us permission, says Pete. Yes, I checked with the head guy. Super nice. Seems very excited about helping out Spider-Man. Okay, says Pete, tell me what to do. So we've got like a 3D printer in our web shooters to create to be.
Sorry, I'm sorry. What?
It's set up in the other games. It's kind of how we create new gadgets on the go.
Yeah.
You don't look impressed.
It's pretty dumb. This is a 3D printer in our web shooters. That would come in handy at very numerous points.
Genki says we need to use it to build something real quick. We've just sent you the blueprints. It's a spider drone.
Okay. Are we just using these as antennas?
Pete says, this looks like a drone. We don't spy on people, Genki. Oh, no, says Genki. This all opt-in. New Yorkers sending messages to the app, which gets routed through the drones, which I call the Focus Relay Network Data Spots. FRND. Did I just make a friend?
Wow.
You did, says Genki. 7th grade me was so wholesome. We fire the drone out into the city using the launcher, creating a local network and allowing app requests to reach us on the friendly neighborhood app.
Yeah, this is realistic.
That could happen.
Yeah.
You could have each of them be like a node and mesh network.
We don't spy on people, Genki, Pete says, flashing back to his Oscorp towers.
Yes, the same joke you made in your
the
critique. Yes. We do, as I say, we're dealing with sort of opportunistic mobsters around the city, taking advantage of the chaos caused by the sandstorm. And Pete wonders to himself what could have gotten into Marco. It's been so long since he's caused any problems.
Is there going to be sand there like the whole game?
Yeah.
It is there for effectively the whole game, but something beautiful about it is that it will actually slowly reduce as we do the main campaign until the very end of the game when there's just one massive pile of it in a construction site. It's really cool. They do this a lot with citywide disaster stuff in this game where the remnants of that disaster will remain for a period of time. It's really good.
It was good.
We switch back to Miles. Should talk about switching between them. So main missions are kind of on rail who you're playing as. But if you're swinging about the free world... If you're swinging about the open world...
The free world!
Swinging in the free world.
America! Cow!
Fuck off. As we're swinging about...
Freedom!
If we're swinging about the open world doing just side quests, side content, we can switch between them at the press of a button, basically. It's very cool. So we do that. We switch back to Miles. Miles says to Genki that he was sounding stressed earlier. Genki says, there's a lot going on and I'm hungry and the vending machine here only has plain low-sodium table crackers. It sucks. I'll manage, though. I'm finally doing that app upgrade I was talking about with a little help from my friends.
Wow.
It's a brilliant pun that doesn't make sense to you yet. Blah, blah, blah. So basically, as Miles, we help him launch some more launchers.
I
some
wonder
more
how
drones.
Pete's students are doing through all this.
Good question. We will answer that shortly.
Well, clearly Genki is... I don't know where Genki is, but clearly he's left class.
Yeah.
He's actually all doing this like on his cell phone in the panic room.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Rio calls us to check in. She's at Feast helping Gloria, who we met in the last couple of games. Rio asks us if we've met with Mr. Sumida yet. No. What did we talk about? Rio says, Spider-Man isn't going to get you into college. I'll make it, Ma, I promise.
Mom, not the time. Literally.
Well,
Can you wait until dinner tonight?
The immediate danger, I suppose, has passed. Yeah. Responding to a request on the app, Miles rescues some peeps from a burning building because we got the local network up now. He heads inside. The fire service are outside. There's kind of, the sandstorm has caused fires and things collapsing. You get the script. Inside, though, we find a strange glowing crystal. Ooh.
Ooh, that just looks like the same crystals that we were making on Sandman.
Exactly. You've got it. It's not a mystery. Once you approach it, sand minions come out, and we wonder, like, what the hell? Marco's in a secure containment facility, presumably dozens of miles away. What is this? We basically break a bit of the crystal off. When we snap it in half, we get to hear a memory from Flint Marco. We hear his voice in the air. 1 minute I was with you, and the next you were gone. A talking crystal. Seems like that was part of Marco's memory. MJ called to say there were more crystals scattered around the city. Got to keep an eye out.
How very convenient for her call right then with right as he found this.
I'm being unfair. I think Miles calls her at this point to be like, I found this weird thing. MJ's kind of acting as another person in the chair sometimes for both of them.
Yeah, so Miles calls sand expert Mary Jane Watson.
She's more of an expert than him, I guess. Yeah. We get a request through the app to rescue a limo passenger. Some VIP stuck in a limo somewhere. We arrive at the scene to find a limo half buried in a mound of sand. It's being like patrolled by goons who I suppose are trying to break in. We make short work of them by hitting them until they aren't conscious anymore. Pulling the limo out of the heap, we open the back door to rescue the poor soul trapped inside. A semi-conscious J. Jonah Jameson is sprawled in the back seat. Hospital. J. Jonah Jameson. I gotta tell Spider-Man. Okay, Mr. Jameson, let's get you to the hospital. And so we pick him up and swing him out across the city. While he's like over our shoulders, Pete comes and we're like swinging along together because Pete's like, I gotta see this. Oh my God, it's J. Jonah Jameson. And he kind of regains consciousness over our shoulders as we're swinging through the air.
He fully wriggle out of you and just let himself drop.
What the worst day of this man's life.
Where am I? Spider-Man! Jonah, says Peter. My sunshine. Are you okay? Help! I've been abducted. What? No, we're helping you, man. Someone get a photo of this. Masked criminals kidnap beloved newsman. Some things never change.
Call Pete.
Just be nice to the doctors. We drop him off at the hospital, and like no one is listening to him. They like load him onto a dolly. There's like nurses coming around to like wave at the Spider-Man, and he's like, "They kidnapped me. I did not consent. Menaces. I'm surrounded by menaces. But J. Jonah Jameson is not going anywhere. You hear me? I'm not going anywhere. Where am I going? Where are we taking me?" We get a call from Principal Parker. No, Principal Parker?
Principal Parker, you abandoned your students. Have a promotion.
Yeah, we get a call from Principal Evelyn who says, I better see you in 10 seconds and Pete does the, oh no, you're soon. And hangs up. We do head back to school though. Miles catches up with his friends and he asks them if Mr. Sumida is still here. Oh no, he just left. So Miles has missed out on this help that he might have got with his college application. Counselor?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of, while he was gone, Genki's been given the Rand scholarship. It's a full ride to get into ESU.
The Ayn Rand scholarship?
Not Ayn Rand. Probably the Marvel Rands, who are a very rich family.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Not in this game, but Danny Rand is the one you might know, who is Iron Fist.
I don't know who that is.
Okay.
Oh, he's a defender.
Yeah, he's one of the defenders. He's not in this.
I don't know what the defenders are.
So Danny Rand is a man who can punch real good with his iron fist.
He's got spirit punches.
That's not fair. Iron Fist rocks. But yeah, Danny Rand.
So the Rands are obviously just very rich. It's just a little Easter egg. Okay. But he got a full ride scholarship to ESU, I believe. As they watch from across the courtyard, Pete jogs up to the principal. Oh man, says Genki. I can't watch this. They're like 10 feet away and they're like,
neither can I.
I can't watch this, but also I kind of can't look away.
Might take the headphones off for this.
Principal Evans, guess who decided to show up today? She's holding his bag in her hands outside the courtyard.
She pulls a Spider-Man mask out of the back. I'll let you off the warning.
I know, this looks terrible. Looks? I'm so Sorry, it's more than looks. I know. And this is the last thing I wanted to happen. This is absolutely ridiculous, and it'll never happen again. I've had enough of this. No more excuses. Your job is to protect these students, not to abandon them. You're fired.
Oh, your job. You're so shit at protecting these students. And you didn't do anything to help protect them.
Yeah, it's the sadness of it.
If you time the opening cutscene of Pete in the classroom, he was a teacher for less than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Imagine, I feel like this would happen in a lot of his jobs. Imagine going to a job interview. Your CV is like a mile long. It's like, why are each of these jobs like a day long? Can you explain this?
Why is your only reference a criminal? Your only reference.
We cut back to the friends, and Genki's like, dude, you being Spider-Man must be so hard, to keep a job. And like Haley like nudges Genki as if he's being really insensitive. He's like, but I'm sure you're going to figure it out.
I'm sorry, does everybody also know Pete as well as Spider-Man?
Genki certainly does. Genki knows that Pete is Spider-Man.
Does also what's her name know?
Haley does. Must know as well, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually kind of a dick move on Miles' part. I understand Genki, but like it's a bit of a dick move revealing that information to people because it's so important to Pete.
He's just all of his confidants in Harlem. He's like, oh, by the way, the other Spider-Man is this guy.
Although on the flip side, Pete almost certainly has told Mary Jane Watson about Miles, so they're both as bad as each other.
Well, they know each other now, but they know.
Yeah,
you would tell your best friend, wouldn't you?
If I was Spider-Man, neither of you would know.
That's all that
It would explain a lot.
Yeah, I should hide the mask.
To seem occasionally like you're getting regular head damage from some source or another. Oh, the mask is going back on. God damn it.
Oh, Spider-Man.
Just in time, by the way. That mask is here just in time.
Yeah, it is.
Are we ready? It's time for the return of America's favorite game show. Ooh. Say it with me, folks. It's time for Swing or Miss. Woo! Yeah, baby. Today, we are going to be looking at, first of all, the Scarlet Spider.
No.
These are two Pete suits to start us off with.
I don't like it.
What do you like about it?
I don't like anything about it. It looks really bad. I don't like these monocolored ones, especially when it's just like there's a random straight block line into another monocolor. I think it looks bad.
What do you think of the red eyes?
If this was an entirely black suit with the red eyes, I'd really Jesus Christ.
The music stopped.
I can't look at you.
There we go.
If it was an entirely black suit with the red eyes, I think I'd really like it. I do like the little claws, but yeah, the red. I don't like the red.
I love the talons. The talons are really cool.
Next up, Superior Spider-Man.
Yes!
Monty's favorite.
The best Spider-Man. You might even say he is the superior Spider-Man.
I mean, the eyes are bad. The rest of it's fine.
He's a nasty looking bastard. He's great.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
The eyes are too long.
Superior Spider-Man Chase is from the comics.
Also,
and it's
one of his eyes is bigger than the other.
It's it's when Doc Ock takes over Peter Parker's body and becomes Spider-Man to prove a point that he could be a better Spider-Man than Peter ever was.
Yeah.
And he
This
is.
is Doc Ock's costume, yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Cool.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. See, I don't know why. For some reason, when you get these ones where it's like it tries to have like the normal Spider-Man costume mixed with something, I don't like when it has the webbing. But then I also don't like block monocolors. So maybe I'm just really hard to please.
I was going to say, I don't know which way you want it to go, but fair enough. I follow you.
We might have another one or two of these scattered throughout to try and please you.
Oh, please me.
Yeah, so right now we've had
Please
two
me,
misses.
me.
Two misses.
Two misses.
Wow. And one of them
Yeah.
is one of my favorite suits of ever.
I
love
can't get over the fact that his left eye is bigger than the right eye.
Anyway, we're not
Look,
even
that
going to
eye's
touch
bigger.
that. We're
It's
not
just
going to
the
touch.
angle.
Just leave it. We're not going to touch it. MJ calls Pete. She says she's headed to his place to drop something off. Is the back door unlocked? I don't know, says Pete. I left in such a hurry.
always unlocked for you.
No.
Damn it, why did I leave that line in? Stupid. I don't know if my back door is unlocked, says Pete. Left in a hurry this morning. I'll just meet you there. So we do some more side stuff. We help some more people. And we swing back to our new area of the map of Queens, which is not new for Peter because this is May's old house and he's lived here his whole life.
Does MJ have a Harley?
Yeah.
What? Fucking love her.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
MJ pulls up to the house on a sick motorbike. Traffic was awful, she said. Sandman really made a mess. She says she's not convinced she's a bike person, but it is convenient in the city, like especially when she needs to do her like journalisty stuff and zip around and get from places quick. What's wrong? She says, look at his face. I got fired. Oh no, you were so excited about this job. I know. I had the whole semester planned out.
No, you didn't.
He absolutely did.
You had fucking nothing planned. You walked in and started ranting about service tension.
Next week, we were going to make a potato-powered helicopter.
Yeah.
Suck on that, dick.
Surely a school as funded as Brooklyn Visions would have, like, you need to teach them these things.
Here's a 17-year-old's physics class where we're going to do potato electricity.
They're geniuses. Maybe there's like some,
So you should have dealt with that back in second
No,
year.
there's complicated stuff happening
She should
there.
have just had them make all the spider tools.
Child
Maybe
labor.
what we're landing on is he would have been fired anyway.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, says MJ. I might be joining you on the unemployment line. Jonah already clearing house? Sort of, says MJ. He's instituting a radical meritocracy. Yikes, says Pete. What does that even mean? It means whoever doesn't write a front page story in the next week is fired. Well, you'll be fine then, because you're, the best reporter they have. She has like a box of books tied to the back of the bike, and she unloads them. What do you got there? Unsold Symcaria books, she says, running out of storage at her place. But you got great reviews, said Pete, and sold 14 copies. No one wanted to read about Symcaria, but the Bugle is the best outlet in the city. I can make a difference there. But if I get fired, I don't know what I'll do.
I'm so confused. Is the Bugle meant to be like New York Times level of like an institution, or is it meant to be more of like a tabloid?
Both.
It kind of swings. So like I think it's your kind of
never misses.
classic. A lot of the time when we pick up, it's kind of your classic liberally centralisty paper. Maybe something like a Times. But maybe this indicates a swing back to sensationalism. The fact that they've brought
It's going Fox
Jameson
News.
in. Yeah, it's kind of probably trying to compete on the online space by lowest common denominator stuff.
There are other papers in the city, and for in the comics, it's constantly a thing that the Bugle's got a lot of competition, and there are a lot of papers. But it's the big one. It's the Sun. Right now under Jameson's leadership, it's the Sun of New York. Yeah. Everyone's reading it, and it sells really well. But
Is
God, is it
Jameson
dog
the
shit.
editor-in-chief there?
Yeah.
He is now. Yeah, he's back.
Okay.
He's back.
Yeah. So whatever, as much as the game takes the mick out of the podcast in the first couple of games, it presumably has done really well.
Who would
Yeah.
ever take the mick out of a podcast? I think podcasts are actually the superior form of news.
I think what we do has real value. I can't even get through that. Let's hit it. Yeah. Contributing to society.
I can already see the comments on this entire suite of episodes of just Jesus
Take
fuck.
the board away.
Take this stupid fucking button board away.
Look, we will eventually get bored of it. I promise.
We are going through what
Oh.
like radio DJs went through in 2002. That's how behind the times we are.
Normally, I would agree, if not for the fact that we recorded 8 episodes yesterday. So that is like 5 months of content.
That's a peek behind the curtain, everybody. You will be getting Spider-Man 2 before Mortal Kombat, but yeah, we've done it the wrong way around.
Unless you're on the Patreon, in which case you might get some. It might be, who knows.
You're gonna hear
You're going to get Mortal Kombat first. Let's face it.
all of our stupid button shenanigans at once.
MJ's sad. She tried to make an impact from the outside and sold 14 copies. No, she needs to try and change things from the inside. Pete asks if she's thought any more about moving in. We talked about this. I need to be in the city, close to where the action is. But think of all the romantic dinners we could have. When was the last time you were home for dinner? MJ asks him. Fair point. So we go into the house and it's a bit of a mess. Pete's you play as Pete running around cleaning up the house as MJ comes in. Bummer that the teaching thing didn't work out. What's next, do you think? I don't know, to be honest. I'd like to take some time off, but I can't really afford to, says Pete. What about selling the house? I mean, I could, but I can't. If you need time, I can cover the mortgage, says MJ. No, I can't do that. Plus, you said Jonah might clear house. We find like a mortgage bill Aunt May, best woman in the world, though she was, remortgaged the whole house to help pay for Feast. So they are like square one on house payments.
Yeah.
Or
I'm
near
curious how much MJ is making at the Bugle, because she only sold 14 books, and yet she says she can cover a month's worth of remortgaged mortgage.
Yeah.
And it's like $4,000 or something, Chase. It's ridiculous how much they're expecting per month.
MJ seems like a person who would have savings.
America in it.
Well, yeah. An old house.
MJ seems responsible. I think she would have some savings.
Yeah,
at
I
least.
believe that, yeah.
So
Good guy MJ for offering to cover, though. Like, for sure.
100%. Although it still feels a bit like May's house. There's a lot of her stuff out. We find stuff that we should probably donate to Feast that May had around. And MJ finds an old photo album with a photo of an extremely dorky teenage Peter standing in front of a hole in the wall. Big comic eyes have been drawn above the hole to make it look like a silly, angry face. And on the photo, May has left like a sticky note with the word balance.
He looks like he's about ready to put on a black suit and dance through the streets.
Yeah, he's got curtains, doesn't he?
This is the Peter Parker Ultimate Comics design. Those curtain hairs, this is pretty much exactly how he looks like in the Ultimate Comics as a young nerd. Yeah, it's not a good look.
Oh, no.
Huh, says Pete. That was in my bedroom. Why'd you take a photo of that again? Balance. What does that mean? We head upstairs to try and trigger a memory.
Balance. What does that mean?
I like how they've also like had a little flash up of the word balance in a box to the left of it in case you just you really need to drive it home.
It's accessibility, to be
yeah.
fair. Like if you're dyslexic or something, the font is more friendly for dyslexic people than the scroll.
May's fancy cursive. We head up to the room, to try and remember what happened there. We flash back to very young teenage Peter Parker starting out his career as Spider-Man. You can see the mask, an early version of the mask on the table. He's like very frustrated, moping about as J. Jonah Jameson plays on the radio. So Pete has been listening to JJJ for like 10 years.
The guy is a masochist.
Spider-Man! Is he threat or menace? The phone lines are open. Menace! Definitely a big fat menace. Let me tell you something about this so-called superhero. He's neither super nor a hero. So what is Ed up to? A fraud. An attention seeker. It's a bunch of nonsense. Pete punches the wall in frustration. And May enters.
Peter, it's so strange. Why is that radio show where they're bad-mouthing Spider-Man upset you so much?
What was that? Says May. I thought I heard a rat in the wall. What's wrong? It's nothing. I was just behind him on his computer monitor. A warning flashes up. Submission overdue for school or college. May sits down across from him. When I was your age, I was the head of the debate club, the captain of the soccer team, second violin in the orchestra. Every year I wanted a new feather in my cap. When I tried to add honor roll student to the top, I fell apart. Instead of being good at a few things, I wasn't good at anything. So I scaled back. Balance is a process, not a destination. She takes a Sharpie and starts to draw the eyes on above the hole. They finish the drawing together.
Did I also tell you I'm an award-winning cartoonist?
She probably was. They finish it together and we flash back to the present day, Peter smiling to himself. Maybe May had a point. I can't take too much on. Something's got to give. We head back downstairs to MJ. She's just got a tip that the raft, remember what the raft is?
The raft is the high security jail.
Yeah, big prison on the water.
Yeah, it's not very good.
Well, that one time it was very not good, yeah. They're moving a couple of inmates to Ravencroft prison tomorrow for evaluation. Did they say who? No, but she's going to find out.
Why are they not evaluating them in the raft? I feel like moving them is where all the issues always happen.
That is a really good point.
I don't know what you're talking about. Get that out of your mind right now.
Rhino's rampage at the start of Miles Morales, not a problem. Don't worry about it.
To be fair, it wasn't really a problem. He destroyed one shopping mall.
And that was because of Miles.
And it was mainly Miles.
MJ needs to head out to work. She gives Pete a kiss and makes to leave. We see her go outside and Pete hears her scream. He runs outside to check on her and finds MJ rushing towards a figure waiting for them. Their friend Harry Osborn.
He's back from
leaning
Europe.
against the car.
Yeah.
She charges at him and Harry's like, whoa, I miss you, but the doctors haven't cleared me for MJ hugs yet. Pete comes up and embraces him. This is Harry.
Yeah.
He's a sweet looking boy.
Didn't bring anything back from Europe, though. Billionaire's son.
He also, I don't know if you noticed in the previous, he's walking with the support of a cane.
Yeah,
he has
did
quite
see.
a bad limp. Harry, I missed you.
Did they know that he was sick, or was the Europe cover
We
story a whole
could
thing?
find that out, but it's not going to be. He's literally just about to confess. Yeah, I missed you too, says Harry. I heard about May. I'm so sorry. How was Europe? Says MJ. Sorry about that. I was being treated in isolation here in the city, and I didn't want you guys to worry about me. So it's not a secret
I
anymore.
really love that they just go straight
Yeah.
in and don't bullshit us around. Yeah.
Is it, says MJ, is it the same thing your mom had? If you remember, his mom's dead. It was, says Harry. Past tense. We think it's in remission. Harry, I can't believe this.
Do we know what it was?
You look great.
I can't remember. It's like a blood disease or something. It's just something. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just say it's cancer.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could be. Pete says he can't believe this. Harry looks great. I feel great, he says. MJ has to go to work. But they agree that they're going to meet up at Coney Island for old time's sake, the all three of them, for a date, a friend date.
I'm going on a little roller coaster.
Yeah.
Harry can third wheel.
Kind of.
Oh yeah, they weren't dating when Harry went into.
Yeah.
Like, he's come back and he's like, oh damn it, I had a crush on her.
That's just the movies.
Pete. I didn't know he did in the movies.
Yeah, in the original movies, fucking
I've not
James
seen it.
Franco,
I've not
and
seen it in years.
it's
I
a
don't
kind
know.
of love triangle stuff a little bit, but it's rubbish.
I forgot it was James Franco.
I know,
right,
it sucks,
right.
doesn't
Oh
it?
my.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
I
a
was
shame because
I wasn't
see, in
even thinking that.
hindsight-
I'm just so used to like adult James Franco. I completely forgot that
Like,
he was a child.
James Franco sucks, but I really like that rendition of Harry Osborn across those three games. I think that's a really interesting version of him.
Yeah, this one is he's a little bit sweeter. He's lovely. I like
That
this.
man is walking sugar, is what he is.
Yeah, he's very
Pure sweetness.
He's very lovely. So MJ leaves for work, and Harry apologizes for coming by unannounced and all. Pete invites him inside, but Harry says he was actually hoping to go out for a ride if you want to join. He opens up the boot of the hatchback. But I was thinking we might roll like we used to. And he has a couple of like
skateboards.
there's a couple of bicycles in the back.
Oh, that's not nearly as
Um,
I wanted them to be like skateboarding on the street.
they're New York kids. They got everywhere with like went to school on bikes, I think is the implication. He literally says, Pete says, is that my old bike? No, says Harry. I found it on the internet. It's a close match though, right? Wow, I swear you've even got the same stickers and everything. Are you sure? We go for a little bike ride around the town together, around Queens.
Aw.
Harry's kind of leading us somewhere. He says he's feeling good. He was just using the cane for insurance. I don't even need it. I think you have more energy than I do, says Pete. So tell me everything. What's keeping you busy? It's just, says Pete, substitute teaching in between getting fired. I've also been tutoring a high school kid. He's special. Reminds me of me, actually. But full of yourself that actually not every day. Like,
Tutor miles.
no.
God,
Well,
fucking
unclear.
charge money, Pete, for anything you do.
I guess not for the Spider-Man tutoring.
Well, I mean that's fair, but you'd hope that Rio would slide him a couple 20s.
You would assume.
I think Pete would turn it down. The whole thing is they don't monetize Spider-Man.
No,
jokes.
No.
for
I mean for like
tutoring.
legitimate tutoring.
I don't think he does legitimate
he kind of,
tutoring.
he's helping him with the essays. Like,
I guess, yeah.
Anyway,
Surely Rio would like tuck a couple 20s into his pocket. when
Sure,
he's
that's not going to
walking
pay
out
a
the door.
£4,000 mortgage, though.
No, it's not. But
Harry says that this sounds like a lucky kid. After all, Harry would never have passed honors calc without Pete's help. I read about your old boss, Dr.
I
Octavius.
thought, were we not meant to assume that Harry is smarter than Pete?
No.
Harry
Rarely
is smart, but not smarter than
He's
Pete.
very smart. They like, like he just said, he passed honors calc, but with Pete's help.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not even AP calc.
I read about your old boss, Dr. Octavius. That must have been crazy. That's one way to put it, yeah. I wish you'd been around. Harry, why didn't you tell me you were sick? I'd have been there in a shot. You wouldn't have liked what you'd seen. The treatment was horrible. I was floating in a tank with a healing agent. It gave me awful nightmares. We head towards our old school. We arrive at the school and dismount the bikes. But despite what he's just said about the cane, Harry is clearly in a lot of discomfort when he takes his leg over the saddle. He's clearly kind of covered up that he's still hurting. Why'd you bring us here? We both hated high school. Remember that time, says Harry, Flash and his buddies cornered me and broke my laptop? We lost that presentation. For the Young Entrepreneurs Competition, says Pete. We worked on that thing for months. And the state meet was the next morning. I had a backup on my USB. They're kind of going back and forth remembering it. It's very cute. But it was in your locker, says Harry. So we called the school, begging to let us in. But they said no. It was after hours. We were so desperate, says Harry. We walked around the entire school, trying every door, until we got to this one, says Harry. They're breaking into the school. Harry's like, I still remember how to Jimmy. It's the weekend or something. So Harry, like, Jimmy's the lock. And as we step through into the school...
I feel like it's a very different thing for two students who go to the school to break in and two adults with no affiliation anymore to the school.
An American school as well.
It's always really... I every once in a while go back to my old high school just to like see teachers and stuff. And the amount of security that I need to go through to get in. Like, I remember back when, like, oh, you could just walk in the door and just fuck it, whatever. Now, I need to, like, be specifically signed in by a specific teacher and be like, oh, no, they are going to be in my sight the entire time they're
Son
here.
of a billionaire.
Yeah. Did you guys ever break into your school as kids? Like during summer and stuff? I did, yeah.
Absolutely.
All the time.
Scottish
there
schools,
was
it's
one,
not such a
there
big...
was one door that was always just a bit shit with the lock and you could just burst it open and head
But why? What's the appeal?
It's exciting.
Yeah.
Because it feels
It's
like
after hours.
there's not a lot to do.
It feels like something you're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
It is something you're not
Well,
supposed
yeah,
to
but
do.
exactly. You get a little adrenaline rush.
Little rebels.
The same realize you might shoplift as a kid or ring and run, ding dong dash. You know.
Oh yeah, Ding Dong Dash. Yeah. Chap Chap Run Away. Oh my god.
Yeah.
What a terrible game. See, as an adult,
Great game.
it would stress me. It stresses
annoying,
me the fuck out. I hate it.
Can't say I ever broke into my schools. To be fair, my school was a 30-minute drive away from my house. So,
Okay.
And again, you might have got shot by the cops for breaking into your school.
As these two young men break into their school, we flash back to that that fateful night all those years ago when the two broke in to go and get their presentation back.
I need a swing or miss for Harry's outfit here for his drip.
Oh, come on.
I like it. Yeah,
The condom hat.
2000 and what's this?
No. Okay.
Did you guys ever have condom hats? I had a condom hat.
Of course I did.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
fully looks like something I would have worn in high school.
100%. Yeah.
Except replace the pole with a t-shirt.
Yeah, it's a bad drip though.
This is wrong. Bad. This is just 2000 strip.
Yeah.
That though.
Pete's outfit. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Or
Pete,
mainly Pete's hair.
Pete, you're being so mean. My hair goes like that sometimes.
I think I make the joke in my critique where it's like, I would have bullied Peter Parker at school. And I was not particularly fashionable.
No, you were
No,
not.
see, the fashion's fine. I don't mind the clothes. It's just the hair. Like literally, no middle parts. No middle parts. He's kind of giving Bieber a little
It's
bit.
very Bieber, you're
Harry
right.
is vaguely giving Bieber.
Yeah.
The two friends sneak into the school to rescue the presentation. It's the thumb drive is in Pete's locker, which is upstairs. So this is basically kind of a stealth tutorial for this game.
Also, such a shit school to not let them do this. You would assume that the school would be able to claim this accolade if they win. Mm-hmm. And that the school would want to help them get this. Yeah. Especially given they will have nighttime security guards and janitors.
Here he is.
Yeah.
We sneak through, distracting the janitor. So we get like tutorials on like distracting guards. And Pete has his spider powers at this point, bear in mind, but Harry doesn't know. So when they kind of split up at points and Pete can like jump to the ceiling as the guard goes underneath, it feels very high stakes for them in this moment. And Pete's like wondering aloud. He's like, this is what criminals do. Am I a criminal now? Harry says that he forgot to say he showed their presentation to his mum. She thought it was really great. She had one critique though, the name. She said we should rename it Heal the World. Holy cow, that's perfect, says Peter. Right? Heal the world it is. Now all that's standing in between us and a better world is that stupid thumb drive. So we sneak around. Pete has to he runs out of web fluid. So he has to sneak into the photo lab, which is obviously he's in photo club or whatever, which is where he stashes some of his fluid. So he's already got little stashes around the place to refill spider goodies.
I think there's a backpack in the vent as well, right?
Yeah,
it's good.
Is this a hot take to say that I hate web fluid?
Yes.
Specifically, because I feel like the specific thing that makes him a Spider-Man is the webs.
Sticking to the wall.
Sticking to the wall.
Okay, yes, but
The agility and proportionate strength of a spider.
Okay, no.
Spider
but
sense.
super strength, danger sense, and sticking to walls does not a spider make. That on its own, not a spider. Webs immediately makes in context makes the rest of a
All
spider.
right.
So I just want
Fine.
everything should be biological spider
No,
powers.
what you want webs shooting out of his
Yes.
wrists like Tobey Maguire?
Yes.
Oh, go
Weird.
and go and
gross.
dig up Stan Lee and complain to him.
Yeah, because also, just to flag to that, Chase, it also adds like real tension in the comics because there's numerous points during big important fights where he's like, oh, I'm out of web fluid, or his web shooters break, and then he has to do it without web swinging, and it's like, ooh, tension activated.
Okay, but you
Good
could just
stuff.
say when he gets anxious, he gets performance issues.
Oh, that's much
That's
better.
worse. That's so much worse.
We can see some photos being developed in the lab. A picture of Avengers Tower. Pete, looking at this, admits to a little bit of hero worship. A picture of ESU, Empire State University. Dr. Octavius is doing a guest lecture there next month. Thanks, Peter. Gotta get tickets before it sells out. You can look into a photo and think about MJ. Obviously, their teenage crush, his teenage crush. Ran right into MJ after this. Couldn't decide between hey or hi, so I said hi, yay. Oh. We find the web fluid. We flash back to the boys in the school gym. They shoot some hoops together and catch up. It's really, I probably can't get across in a lower dump how genuine the connection between the two friends is. They are best pals. They've not seen each other in years. They catch up on losing May and taking on May's house. MJ maybe moving in, but Pete's not sure if she wants to. Harry says they'll figure it out. They always do.
It's one of my criticisms is I do find it to be a little bit too sugary sweet, but that's not necessarily a criticism of the writing here. I think the way it's handled with the contrast of how Peter and Miles behave as a unit, where you've almost got two, like a big brother looking out for a really much younger brother, and then you have Harry and Pete, and it really feels like these two best friends.
Yeah.
Like almost that their friendship makes them closer than brothers. It's really well handled. You believe it. You're also with you. This is like a 45-minute to an hour-long mission, depending how long you take. So you're with them for a while.
Yeah, I'm speeding through it a little bit. We're kind of flashing back and forth between teenage and present day as well. We managed to get the thumb drive in the past, and we go back to present day, standing outside the same locker, which is like Pete's old locker. Harry in the present day tells him to open it, and he's like, "What? Why?" And they open the locker, and Harry's prepared and like left him a wrapped gift in there.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a big elaborate proposal. It's
Not the
really
first day not the first time this day that he has broken into the school.
Yeah. In the present day as well, a security guard comes around the corner, and Pete's like, "Oh, nice touch!" Like, because of back when you hired someone to, and Harry's like, "Nope, didn't hire him. Go," and they have to escape. Flashing back in time. We see the two teenagers break out onto the football field, escaping the gym together. They take a brief moment to celebrate before the beating of a helicopter's blades can be heard. A searchlight illuminates them both. It's not the cops. It's Harry's dad. Norman Osborn gets out of the helicopter. "Dad, I told you, I'll call you when I get home." "It's your mother." "What happened?" "Pete, would you excuse us for a second?" And the flashback ends. That's obviously the night that Harry's mother died. Back in present day, the two of them are sitting on the bleachers. I don't know why they're still on the school grounds after escaping the security guard, but they are. We sit together on the bleachers, and Pete opens his present. "Harry, what is this?" "It's an ID badge. Peter Parker, co-founder of the Emily May Foundation."
The what?
"You know, I still think we would have won state if we presented," said Harry. "A lot's happened the past 10 years. It's a miracle I'm even sitting here, but I've got a second chance. I'm going to take advantage of that. But I need you with me, Pete. This is a lot to process. Why don't you come by our lab tomorrow? Check it out." "You have a lab already? I'll show you some of my ideas. We can talk about them some more. Deal?" "Sure." "Pete," says Harry, "we're going to heal the world."
Thank God that, he showed up right when he was in need of employment.
Yeah. It's very lucky.
Cut to a shot of the ocean. From the distant horizon, 3 aircraft storm towards the screen. "You're confirmed," comes a voice. "Strike Force K1 on approach. Status report. The manor and arena are nearly complete. Recon units report in. The Sandman eluded us. Recapture not an option." In the back of a craft, Craven the Hunter sits and listens to the reports. So here he is. Here's our big sexy.
Kind Kind of hot.
Oh, yeah.
It's a really good Craven design. I really like this look.
So he listens to this report about Sandman eluding them. Then he was not the one. Copy that. Awaiting orders, sir. Prepare for the transfer tomorrow. And do not fail again.
So Sandman got away, and therefore he is not the one. Surely that would make him more likely to get him.
Well, Sandman was captured by the cops. So, like,
He's
kind
weak,
of not
yeah.
really. Miles stares at a blank application. My name is Miles Morales, and even I'm bored already.
Me too.
I am obsessed with the way he's done his
Do you want
laptop.
to describe it?
Yeah.
He's just got he's lounged back in bed. He's got his laptop webbed by about 50 webs, so it's perfectly
And a
laying in
soda.
front of him. Oh my god! I didn't even notice the soda's webbed. I thought he was holding it. The soda is also webbed.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to touch anything.
Pete calls. Hey, Miles, you busy? I need whatever it is. He cuts in. I'm down. Need some help babysitting a mission at the raft. So he immediately...
You saw how this went the last time. You saw exactly how this went the
Everyone's
last time.
learned since then.
I mean, yes, but still.
Whatever it is, I'm down.
Can we not just trust that the raft employees are competent enough to do their jobs without the need for Spider-Man babysitting?
Are you
Well-
suggesting that we made it worse last time?
You could also imply that leads heavily into Pete's hero complex, that he thinks he needs to be present for every moment like this when he arguably doesn't.
And the cops tell him no. But should you listen to the cops? Who knows?
Miles takes this opportunity to immediately abandon his essay, pulls on his spider suit. On his way out, he sees a picture of his dad, Jefferson Davis, and he's like,
The only cop.
Don't give me that look, Pops. I'm only taking a break. Rio calls to ask how the essay's going. He's like, it's going. It's super going. I'm just heading out, though. Pete called for some backup. It's better if I don't know the details, says Rio. I'll be fine, Ma. She tells us that you know how there's been a few nights recently where you've been working late, and so I also worked late. Well, I wasn't working. I'm not in any trouble. It's just I've been going on some dating, actually. Oh, right. And there's one guy. I've seen him a few times, and well, it's going well. Mom, what are you asking me? I'd like to have him over for Pastillon for dinner. I'm sure there's some Spider-Man stuff I can be doing. I can give you some privacy. No. I'd like you to meet him. But not if you're not comfortable. I totally understand. Mom,
Aw.
you had me at Pastillon. See you. Okay. And we head out to the raft.
You had me at food.
Yeah. I'm a simple boy. Oh, there, it's not over the phone there. Right?
Ooh,
It's in
golden
person.
suit.
Yeah.
That's a swing.
Yeah, whoever this is that's playing this through switches suits quite regularly.
I think that's the
so-
Uptown Pride suit.
Yeah, it's the Uptown. So the
It's
end,
carried
the end
over.
of the first, the one that the city gives him as a gift, the Harlem Pride suit. Yeah. We link up with Pete. Scores of guards stand on watch as the doors to the prison open, revealing Scorpion.
Scores of guards guarding
this
Scorpion.
is who I thought was Falcon.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No, he's not in that bit.
Is he not in the bit that I'm thinking?
No.
Okay,
You
well,
might have conflated two bits in your memory.
I might be. I recognize this suit at least.
Yeah, it's a Scorpion from Spidey 1.
Oh, maybe that's why. I don't know what I'm thinking. Fuck.
Matt Gargan, he's the
Ignore
one.
me.
He's the one who he has a poison tip tail, venom tip tail that can give you visions and kill you. And yeah,
He's a
Yeah.
psycho. Yeah.
he emerges, and he's a bit of a dummy, which I like as well.
Yeah.
Savoring the moment of being able to breathe in fresh air. There, so Pete and Miles are kind of watching from a rooftop nearby, overseeing the scene. Behind him, bound to a table and being rolled by a guard, is Martin Lee.
Oh, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, he's grown his hair, he's grown a beard. In my opinion, he's had a bit of a glow up.
It's supposed to be quite rough and ready because look at what he's growing his hair out and his beard's out. But yeah, I think it looks really cool like this.
If it was a more full beard, maybe.
So remember, Martin
But to be
Lee.
fair, it just looks like me when I try to grow a beard.
Yeah, justice for patchy beard people. That's
Martin Lee.
Says the one with a full beard. You dick.
Martin Lee killed Jefferson Davis.
Yes.
Watching on, like Miles immediately seeing this, electricity starts to course up his arm, and Pete puts a hand on him.
Remind me, was Lee a proper supervillain in the last game?
Yeah,
Who was he?
Mr. Negative.
Mr. Negative.
That was it.
So demon powers, able to manipulate people's fears and emotions. How much was he twisted by this power as well?
Yes,
It's kind of a little bit open to interpretation, but he did a terrorism.
Yeah.
One way to put it. I forget. Was Mr. Negative a game original villain or was he a comic one?
Comics.
No, he's in the comics.
Okay.
He's a Dan
He's
Slott
a relatively
creation.
new, last 20 years, but he's...
Although I actually prefer Insomniacs to the comic version, because the comic version, I mean, we do the feast thing where he's got the two sides of himself, but really he's just a gang leader. I like the revenge motivation in Spidey 1.
Yeah, if you remember, he released Devil's Breath. He was involved in that because Norman and Otto experimented on him and it killed his parents.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah. Okay. So Pete holds Miles back, who promises he's okay. He's calm. The prisoners are loaded onto a kind of armored boat, and the riverbound convoy sets off. In the distance, no, this is also not that bit.
What the fuck?
We're on this river a lot because
There's
they
a lot of
created it for the
rivers.
game.
There's a lot of rivers in New York.
There's not, but okay.
There literally is.
What?
Manhattan's an island.
There's like one river.
There's rivers on three sides.
There is the Hudson.
What? There's the East River. There's the.
Oh, I mean, like through it.
Who cares? What's happening with the crafts?
Fuck you.
So they make to follow the convoy from a distance. In the air above the convoy, fireworks start going off. They're kind of like powdered fireworks. Like, have you seen Fury Road?
Yes.
They're like the Fury Road ones. And they go like this: red, orange, green. And of course,
Is that meant to mean something?
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh,
ready, set, go. Boats to the left and right of them begin to topple. Explosions rocking the water beneath them. Above the convoy, several airships decloak. Hunters on skidoos race along beside them.
On what?
Little jet skis.
Jet ski things.
What's a skidoo?
Type of jet ski. I don't know. It is now. Next. We've been locked on this raft for 20 minutes.
On the deck of the transport ship, Pete battles with the hunters. So yeah, this is Craven's crew. There are several different kinds of hunters. We meet more as we go on, but they've got knives. They're really quick. They've got swords. They've got bows and arrows. They've got snipers. They're dodgy, hidey, sneaky, quick.
They're a
good.
great faction
Great.
to fight. Yeah.
Yeah. And they've all got something we'll touch on later. They've all got different accents. So they're from all over the world. They are there for one reason. And they're from everywhere. There's a couple of really strong Scottish accents as well. What do you think Craven's going to do next? We battle with the hunters on the deck of the transport ship. As the fight rages on, the hunters fire harpoons into the side of the transport ship, kind of trying to pull it over and pull it down, and it begins to sink. Miles wakes his way inside the ship through the decks, rescuing staff and guards. But there are a couple of passengers we can't forget about. Using a venom blast to blow the doors off Scorpion's cell, the electrical damage damages the restraints holding the big green goober.
The goober.
Thanks a million, kid. He slices Miles across the stomach with his venom-tipped tail. No, not that venom, or the other one. And he lifts Miles into the air.
I don't even think I even realized that there's going to be three fucking types of venom in this game.
This one's called poison, but it's patently not poison because it's injected. He lifts Miles into the air. But I saved you. Oh, really? He laughs, throwing Miles against the wall, and the venom begins to overtake him. Miles sees the body of his father on the floor.
Oh.
And kind of sinks into a hallucination. And he hears his father's voice. A superhero? Maybe I'm just a guy who doesn't give up. Give up. Give up.
You're a disappointment.
As we sink deeper, Miles has visions of his friends, Haley, his mum. Rio's voice comes through. It's so peaceful without Miles.
Jesus.
Now that he's Spider-Man, I don't have to worry about at 1A anymore. None of us have to die. Time's running out, mijo. Miles emerges on a still dry section of the slip, the kind of vision starting to fade a little bit. A voice comes from a cell behind him. Let me out of here! In the rapidly flooding container, Mr. Negative, Martin Lee, looks out at Spider-Man. He obviously has no idea who's under the mask. Miles watches as the water rises around the man who killed his father. What are you waiting for? The water starts to cover his neck, and Lee takes a deep breath as his head goes under, and Miles kind of snaps out of it and says to himself, not like this. He charges up his venom. As the orange light sparks up his arm, it begins to change, turning blue and white, causing him to collapse. Just then... Oh, yeah, there you go. A kind of lightning turning blue.
Was his venom not blue in the last game?
Kind of for a bit when it got charged up at the end,
At the
right?
very, very end. But no, it's weird that it's blue, Chase.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just then, the roof explodes. Hunters lower cables from a craft above and begin to lift Lee's container away. And we see, I don't have a picture of it, we see the water draining out of it and Lee gasping.
It's brutal. That is a cold moment for Miles.
Yeah, and Lee's looking at him like, are you gonna...
You're a hero.
You're gonna let me die.
Yeah. And then the fact that Miles' response is not like this shows us that for a split
He
second,
still wants him
he
dead.
thought about it. Yeah.
Well, also,
yeah.
not like this means he still wants him dead.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's too easy this way.
I'll find my gun.
Yeah. Miles fights off the goons. These goons here.
The gunners?
Commenting that he can barely control his venom powers. They're sort of like supercharged. Pete calls, they have taken Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Pete calls, they've taken Scorpion, the hunters, that is. Can Miles handle the Lee situation? Miles says he can. He can't let Mr. Negative near his family again after what they did. It's a classic chopper container chase. The craft's going ahead with the container held underneath, and we all know how well those go. Miles immediately causes the chopper to crash, the container landing on the hull of the sinking ship.
To be fair, at least this time it feels intentional.
Yeah, it is. It is, you're right.
It's incredibly reckless of him, though.
Yeah, for sure.
He just doesn't care. He's like, just get Lee out of the container.
Yeah. We fight our way along the hull. So the ship's on its side, the container's landed at one end of it, and it's kind of slowly sinking. We fight our way along towards the container. Just as we've seemingly secured our payload, another craft arrives. The cargo door opens and Craven leans out, aiming a rifle at a nearby fuel tank. The explosion rocks the ship, fuel spilling out and setting a nearby deck and the surface of the river on fire. And here we can see the results of this. The nearby dock sort of collapsing and being fed into the rotors of the transport ship. Miles makes his way up the dock towards Lee, who's managed to get out of the container in the dropping of it. Its doors have opened. You were gonna let me die. You don't know what you took from me, Miles tells him. At this, Lee looks kind of taken aback. Ropes attach around Lee's body. It's like a bowl. Is it a bolas you call that? They sort of fly around his body, and Craven lifts him into the air, holding him from the bay of his craft. As Lee is lifted skywards, Miles shoots a web at him. Lee caught between the two.
What a shot.
Suspended in the air. Yeah, there's some beautiful shots.
Rip him in half. Rip him in half.
Behind Miles, and look, the dock is increasingly like Looney Tunes being fed into this rotor. Behind Miles, Pete is desperately trying to rescue people, now sliding uncontrollably down the collapsing dock towards the still spinning rotors. Pete shouts, "Spider-Man, I need your help!" Miles looks at Lee, agonizing, before of course deciding to let go and diving back down the dock, destroying the rotors and saving the terrified civilians. However, they got away. Scorpion and Lee are in the hands of the hunters. Pete reassures Miles that they'll find them. Miles tells Pete about the change in his powers, Pete theorizing that maybe Lee's energy got entangled with Miles's. So at the same time, Lee was trying to use his energy powers to get out, but he couldn't.
Sure.
Straight up, Chase, because it's not a thing here. So Electric Blue, this new power set is not from the comics. This is unique to the games, and it is never directly. You theorized a solid theory at the end of Miles Morales that maybe that might, because you knew the blue electricity was coming, that maybe that might be part of it. There are many explanations for where Electric Blue comes from. Negative, the end of Miles Morales, stress. It can be anything. It doesn't really matter. Just
He's
so you don't
stronger now.
overthink it.
He can shoot chain lightning at
Yeah.
people.
It's a cool power set, but it's just so he gets extra abilities.
Okay.
Pete promises that they'll sort this out, holding out his hand for a fist bump. Don't leave me hanging. Hey, I'm trying to sulk over here, says Miles. Not on my watch. Hang in there, Miles.
Your Pete is starting to edge into Otto. I love it.
Not on my watch, Peter. Uncle Aaron calls us.
I forgot that he was still alive.
Yeah,
For some reason, in my brain, I thought he was dead.
We left on not great terms.
He went to prison at the end of Miles.
Yeah, he did. But the Danicast speculated that because he worked with the government to put everyone else away, he might get out sooner.
Yeah, he ratted out Roxxon, so it helped
I
him.
forgot about that.
Yeah. Hey, Miles, was used to hearing that voicemail of yours. Dropped you a pin. Do you want to come through? So we go and meet Uncle Aaron. We arrive as Spider-Man, and Aaron's like, do we really got to do this with a mask on? I'm not trying to get my ass kicked by my nephew again. Miles takes off the mask. Your dad used to give me that exact same look. They dap up, and Aaron looks worried. Kid? Martin Lee. Someone got him out. I know what you're thinking, Miles. This is not on you. We can't let them live up here, he points at his head. It's just another kind of prison. It's not that easy, says Miles. I never said it was. But sometimes you got to push the past away so you can make room for the future. That's actually why I called. Need your help getting something. Could get it for myself, but parole means Prowler's retired. What is it? Just some old tech I got to get off the streets. Stashed it by decommissioned Roxxon lab near Central Park. You really putting the Prowler behind you? Behind us, Aaron says. And Miles, that Lee business? Don't be stupid. And we head off. So there's like old Prowler stashes of technology around the city. You can find them for, what is it? Is it like research points or something? What do you get?
You get tech tokens, I think, or something from it. But the cool thing is that you're rewarded at the end of this with a new power for Miles. It's he turns invisible, all that sort of thing. And when your first strike, when coming out of invisibility, is like super, super strong, and it sparks electricity. It's really cool. And you get a new suit, I think, for this too. It's cool. I really like this as a little collectathon because it's like laser gates and stuff, and it just shows how seriously Prowler took his thievery back in the day.
He's got to kind of break through his security defenses at each place.
Like they're not crazy good, but they're cool.
He's not massively featured in this game, Aaron. He's still kind of the family are still cold on him, but we call Rio to tell her that we've been speaking to him, and she sounds like a little bit nervous, but like not annoyed that we've been seeing him. Because if you remember, he saved them at the end of the last game as well. As Pete, we make our way to the Emily May Foundation, a building so grand and futuristic, I'm not sure how he didn't notice its construction in the last few months.
I think he makes the comment of like, I was wondering what this building was.
Actually,
The logo was outside the front, Pete.
Yeah. I guess
It's
they put
named
that
after
on.
your aunt.
I guess they put that on last. It's amazing, right? And as we like enter the foundation, we notice a garden in the reception. Planted there is a hawthorn tree, which was Emily Osborn's favorite plant, and May blossoms in memory of May Parker. It's perfect, Pete thinks. Harry joins us. You made it! Pete comments he thought this was supposed to be a startup. Yeah, I was looking for something a bit less this, but, you know, my dad's the one who makes all the arrangements. Peter Parker, a voice booms out, and Norman Osborn descends the staircase above them. What do you think? It's a far cry from that chop shop Otto had you in. And now you're on board, this place is really gonna start cooking.
I love that Norman's first like his greeting is still laced with, "Hey, fuck Otto."
Yeah, fuck that guy.
I can't tell. Or
That guy.
so is this that classic billionaire? He's technically doing good here.
So he is...
Fine. Is this just a tax break?
I think the way we can read things at this point is that, without giving too much away, this is Harry's baby. And Otto is happy to fund it because, you know...
Otto's happy to fund it?
Norman's happy to fund it. Thank you.
From the grave.
I
Prison.
think
Oh, yeah.
it would be fair to say Norman wouldn't be doing this on his own.
No,
Like,
no. You could argue there
This
is an
all a
argument.
tax write-off.
There's an argument to be made, and I think it might come from Danicast actually, which is that yes, this is all about Harry. It's a gift to his unwell son. It's to help him. But there's also an argument to be made that it's for publicity. There is a connection between EMF and Oscorp in the sense of like everyone knows it's Harry Osborn running it.
And Norman has terrible press. Devil's Breath. We find like I don't know if you saw it in a screenshot I had up earlier, but his mayoral campaigns, people like make him the devil now. On some of them, like he is. I mean, Devil's Breath was his fault.
Yeah, and everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah, protesters are still outside Oscorp when you go by, although the numbers are dwindling, and it seems like he is winning that press war.
We follow him through to the auditorium.
That's right. They have a casual particle accelerator.
We'll come on to that. We follow him around the auditorium. It's an amazing space with labs exploring energy, agriculture, space, and more. The massive building has a particle accelerator running all the way around it.
Casually.
Yeah. Tropical trees populate the atrium. There's like little lakes. It's absolutely beautiful. Actually, Dad, says Harry, Pete hasn't decided if he's joining us yet. Oh, really? He looks very disappointed for a moment.
Why would you not?
You know, seeing you boys together again, and his voice actually catches with emotion, and he stops himself and he's like, have fun, and he leaves us to explore. We head around the labs with Harry. He says that he's made sure all the research aligns with their mission to heal the world. Pete's introduced to Dr. Young, an entomologist researching bee predators.
Bees!
Save
the bees.
Medical researchers, I don't know why you're laughing at that, you medical researchers are researching using proton beams instead of X-rays. Pete's in amazement. It's kind of all medical, environmental science to try and make the world a better place. We're introduced to Dr. Kirk Connors, who you saw for a brief second at the very start of the game. Pete says they've met before. When he worked with Octavius, he came by the lab once to advise on something. As they talk, Connors takes a temperature reading from Harry. Any changes since this morning? Nope, I've never been better. That's what worries me, he says. So he's kind of like Harry's personal doctor right now.
Okay.
And as he leaves, Pete leans into Harry and says, your doctor is the lizard? So everyone knows who he is.
Oh.
Dad believes in second chances, says Harry. As Pete explores, we can find the original robotic arms from Otto's labs. You remember it was like the two human arms? This would have been crime scene evidence at one point, and Pete wonders how it could have ended up here. But we see that Connors is kind of working on it and maybe even improving it. And we, wonder about he is missing an arm. Kirk Connors, that is. So, maybe it's something he's
Did we fight the lizard in the first game?
This was a long time
time before, yeah. The lizard existed prior to the events of Spidey 1. We haven't seen him since.
Yeah. We find a display, because it's also designed to be the EMF, the Emily May Foundation, is also designed to be somewhere people can come and learn about science. So we can find displays. We found a display showing how organic forms of life can survive on asteroids deep in space. Don't think about that. It's like utopian. Every scientist we meet is like so excited to meet us. I'm like, oh, we've heard all about you.
And again, seemingly this has been going for months. How has the co-founder not known it existed?
Oh, yeah. Pete wonders if it's too good to be true. The place is amazing, and he could pay off the mortgage. Harry takes Pete to their new office. It is rather sick. It's like right in the middle of all of it, big glass, so you can see all around the foundation. A framed picture of May and Pete sits on a desk. Like Harry's gone so many, like all the little details. Harry, this is also amazing. It's perfect. It's just that things are really hectic right now. When I was in treatment, Harry says, all I could think about was what I would do if I survived. I kept hearing my mum's voice telling me our planet is in trouble and it's my responsibility to save it. He brings up a display showing the impact projection of their work in the first year. Billions of plants pollinated per week, tons of carbons reduced each year, tens of thousands fed, hundreds of thousands of acres of rainforest saved. If you join me, there's so much more we can do. I mean, we both know you're the smarter one. Come on, let's make my mom and May proud. It's amazing, says Pete. There's just one thing. Can I move my desk over there? And they both laugh and embrace. Harry pulls out a remote and presses a button, causing fireworks to erupt outside as a welcome Peter message displays in the atrium.
And everybody clapped.
Cheese.
Oh, man.
I love it, the cheese. I really hope this Foundation does not die at the end of this game.
The EMF is a gorgeous, is gorgeous visually here, and you'll notice all the forestry stuff. I don't know if you're going to comment on it, just the aesthetic throughout the game, but
You can.
yeah. Well, obviously, Craven the Hunter is here. So they really emphasize greenery throughout the entire game. New York has more trees, more parks, more bushes. You see that a lot more. The inside of the EMF is like one massive jungle. Like it's just this lovely through line.
There's a lot more bush in Manhattan these days.
And it's just really neat. I like that as a visual aesthetic. They keep trying to tie things back to the jungle, and it's nice.
Yeah. Around the city, hunters are setting up. Invisible boats on the Hudson. Teams stalk the rooftops, hacking, and by hacking the Talon drones. So I thought this was what you were thinking of. The hunters have got these kind of vulture drones that look like birds. Pete can find their bases by hacking these.
I have no fucking clue what I'm thinking of.
No.
Yeah.
I just thought that there was a second thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's fine. So Pete can hack these drones to find their base, basically, to find the various bases around the city. We arrive at the first of these. He calls MJ. MJ's been researching and says that it's basically like an abandoned food market. MJ says the owner of the market died last year. And the property, along with many others in the city, have been purchased by a shell company. Whole city blocks have been bought up. She's tried to speak to people who might know more, but it's like they all just vanished. Inside, hunters from around the world train. We overhear their conversation. They are reveling in the idea of their city-wide hunt. And they're all kind of like, you hear snippets of conversations like, where did he recruit you? Alaska. I tracked poachers for the parks, but when I'd find them, I was harsher than my bosses would have preferred. And so Craven found this person, and, it's all like that, Hunters of all sorts from around the world. Pete finds a display showing cameras, like showing every part of the city. He wonders what Craven is hunting and why. He also finds a top-of-the-line grapple hook, which we take inspiration from and print our own version of a webline shooter.
I hate the printer. I hate it. Because you know that he's going to find like a really sick steel claw, and he's like, needs to look like Spider.
Yeah.
Printed to look like Spider.
Oh, he's already printed his spider bots, mate. They're out there.
Yeah. So this is a new mechanic, and it's quite cool. It basically means if you're in any space, you can shoot a web line, and it creates a physical line in the world that you can then walk off. You can do multiple of these. So people have like made their own sort of spider webs almost, which you can walk across.
It's really cool.
Cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it basically means that you can turn any stealth arena into you have a vantage point wherever you want. And to combat this, stealth is made more challenging by like the flying drones around the place,
And the fact that they cut all of the fun gadgets.
All of the gadgets. Yeah, no, you.
God, it really just gets my goat. Sorry, continue.
I didn't mind it. In the lab, we find containers of hallucinogenic venom taken from Scorpion and research on Martin Lee. This hunt was well planned. Next to the venom, Pete finds a rare flower, the Tiara apatia. He comments that he tried to get some of this years ago to counteract Scorpion's poison, but he couldn't afford the flights. After clearing out the base, Pete finds a computer with a file on the Black Cat, Felicia Hardy. He wonders why they'd be targeting her. She's not like the others. She's just a thief.
Why are there European outlets in an American building?
You could argue that maybe they brought all
European
this
hunters.
tech with them.
Most of them are European.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Who cares?
It's an alternate. It's an alternate New York.
It wouldn't be me if I wasn't focusing on
Absolutely the
In
least
name
interesting
details.
thing in this picture.
I should really be focusing on the venom, not to be confused with venom.
Or venom.
Exhausted sigh.
So yes, behind him stalks a robot dog that's just straight out of Horizon. These are a new enemy, aren't they? They're like
Boston Dynamics has really been
Yeah.
stepping up their game.
Yeah.
they're like jagged in metal, and like you really wouldn't want to be hit by one of them.
They're also really cool as an enemy.
Yeah. We cut to actually Pete's looking at a CCTV screen, and we cut to the view from inside that room. An empty space filled with sand. In the center sits an empty cage, doors open. Craven approaches, noticing that the lock on the cage has been melted by green venom, not that one or the other one. Behind him, a figure kind of swims through the sandy floor. He smiles to himself. Turning around, he finds one of his hunters dead and half buried. Clearly, guard duty didn't go well for this guy. Suddenly, Scorpion bursts from the ground, flying high in the air, pointed tail raised to strike. Craven catches him by the throat as the venom tip buries itself in Craven's shoulder. Have a nice trip, gloats Gargan. Craven grins, pulling the tip from his body and snapping it off the end of the tail.
He's already like, major high on like shrooms and shit.
Yeah.
You're just making it better.
Scorpion collapses, terrified. Is this, he brandishes the tail, the best you can do? He lifts Scorpion against a wall. They said you were a killer. Imagine my disappointment. Craven drives the poison tip into Gargan's side, who screams in agony. He writhes and collapses to the floor, dead.
I'm sorry, does
Fatality.
he not have an antidote for his own venom?
Well, regardless of the venom, he just stabs him.
In the heart.
It's like this whole section of the tail here, he drives him through, it's his side.
Oh,
he
okay.
drives it through the side. Scorpion is dead.
Scorpion is dead.
Rip.
Yeah.
Your Craven's really good,
Rip.
by the way. Heads up. I really like your Craven.
Yeah?
Rip.
That wasn't worth it.
That's a rip sound effect, everybody.
Really gonna get our money out of this. Yeah, Scorpion's dead.
Right.
Pete is horrified and leaves the base. Miles is trying to write a personal statement for
Sorry,
his
Neil, I
cult.
want to rewind on that because I feel like that was such a nothing response from you, Chase, too. That is a humongous death, and Neil isn't faking you out. A lot of people are going to die this game.
Oh.
Scorpion has just died.
I just don't care.
You just don't care about Scorpion?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
He's there.
Fair enough.
He's just worse Scarecrow.
It's just, it's a bit of a herald of like, we're going darker.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
We have Deathman here. Of course people are going to die.
Yeah, fair enough.
If it was a character I cared more about, then maybe I'd have a reaction, but it's Scorpion.
Sure. No, look, I think it's totally fair. I just
Fair.
think it's a shocking moment. Yeah.
I hope one of your favorites dies.
Yeah.
Legitimately, so do I.
Who are your favorites? Anybody that you'd worry about?
If Miles's girlfriend dies,
Right, okay.
she's my favorite.
A character's had 4 lines of dialogue. Any actual characters, like main plot characters?
Genki.
Or, okay, fair enough.
Basically anybody from Miles.
Any of the villains? Like, the whole thing here is that Craven is here to hunt superpowered beings.
I don't really like most Spidey villains.
Okay,
They're all fine.
that's fine.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Still got 2/3 of this fucking game thing to go.
Hitting the censor after swearing is really just
It won't be in the
chef
edit. Miles is trying to write his personal statement. On the screen, he has just written the words, "Who I am doesn't matter. What matters is protecting the people I love."
I don't think Carl would agree with that.
He sighs and closes the window, seeing an article about the recently escaped Martin Lee. Rio comes into his room and he closes the laptop. She says it's time to get dressed as her new fancy man is coming over.
Which villain is it going to? It's Craven. It's just Craven. She's been dating Craven.
In a suit.
He's not even changed. He comes over in his full hunter outfit.
Scorpion's blood on him.
He says he noticed that Rashia had her good lipstick on. You must really like this guy. Miles, I don't know why he's speaking like that. Miles's phone rings. It's a spider thing. He's sorry, but he has to go. Rio looks very sad as she watches her son leave, bailing on their date.
Just fucking really dragging out. Just tell us which villain she's dating.
I will say you won't see who she's dating until the very end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So is it a fucking Spider-Man 3 tease?
It's not even really it's not a big deal. It's not a big, she's just moving on from Jefferson. It's just.
Yeah, that's what the focus should be.
Okay, but the fact that they're gonna keep hiding it makes it feel like it should be a big deal.
Superhero things have ruined us. The fact that we're like, ooh, who is it going to be? Just a guy.
Okay, but that's the point. If it's going to be just a guy, they shouldn't be hiding it for an
It's not
entire
hiding
game.
it. It's just Miles keeps bailing because he has Spider-Man stuff.
But that's the
It's
point.
a story about his responsibility, not about who she's dating.
Yes, but in a superhero thing, you're going to assume then that they are intentionally.
I follow the logic, Chase, but Neil really pointed it out there that so far Miles has had 2 conversations with 2 family members, Aaron and Rio, both of which have managed to move on from Jefferson's death, and he is bailing on events related to that to go and focus on things connected to Jefferson's death.
Yeah.
He can't move on. He's still locked in the rage and the revenge of it all.
Pete calls us as we swing out into the city. Scorpion is dead. This isn't a list of potential partners, it's a hit list. Realizing that Black Cat was next, he wants Miles to go and warn Felicia. He asked Miles to
favorite.
He asked Miles to do this
if
because
she dies, then I'll be upset.
Okay.
Finally, some tension.
He
Forgot
asked
she existed.
He asks Miles to do this because he thinks things are a bit awkward with Felicia and how things ended. MJ calls Miles with a list of potential addresses, and we start looking around, but she warns us not to trust a word Felicia says.
These were a bit awkward. She was, in fact, not pregnant with his child.
Yes, yes, that was a thing she did.
She faked immaculate conception.
Not immaculate.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pete gets a call, meanwhile, from the fire department about needing help locating trapped civilians behind a burning building. When scoping the site with a spider bot, which feels fun on the PS5 controller with its little clicky clacky legs, when locating trapped civilians, we can find a frightening scene. 3 gang members with a strange symbol on their clothes have a 4th man on his knees, while one of them brandishes a flaming sort of brand in his face. The man on the ground swears he didn't mention anything to the police about the flame. He just wanted out. The man holds the brand towards his face. We all go out like we came in. Painfully. Spider Drone distracts the goons as Pete swings in for the rescue. As we fight the cult members, we hear them saying things like, the prophecy mentioned we'd fight you eventually.
This is such a weird outfit. Like a welder's mask. He has a stethoscope for some reason.
They're fire guys.
They're just nuts.
I'm sorry, a stethoscope has to do with fire guys?
Design it.
Some weird leather strap on
Well,
there.
they're inside a hospital, remember? So he just found it and he liked his stethoscope.
Maybe he
Chase.
works here.
Yeah, maybe he's a doctor.
because he's going to come to work with the rest of this get-up.
This man is clearly a medical professional, okay?
Well, he's got like a scrub top, but then like cargo pants. Mm-hmm. Which is not how scrubs work. Welding gloves. I'm done.
They say the prophecy mentioned you'd fight them eventually. They refer to Spider-Man, this is Pete, they refer to him as the Fool's Beacon. Pete says he's always wanted to be in a prophecy, but he's not sure about the new nickname. As we fight through the gang of cultists, almost defeating them, one of them makes to escape. As the goon's about to escape, we hear a thud, and the cultist comes flying back into the room. Pete looks up, seeing a purple-clad woman, masked and brandishing a scythe at the end of a chain. He thanks her, and she pulls a lighter out and holds it. That's a close-up look. She pulls out a lighter and holds it right against the arm of one of the goons, and Pete's like, whoa, whoa, whoa! But as the flame gets close, it reveals a kind of hidden magical tattoo of a strange symbol.
Whip.
Pete whips the lighter from her hand as she turns her head towards him. You never did like me smoking. Yuri? This is Yuri.
Oh!
I need a
Not
swing
to
or
be
miss.
confused with Yuri.
Swing or miss.
Swing or miss for her.
I forgot that Yuri turned into a supervillain. Miss. It's fine.
Oh.
Yeah, explain.
It's fine.
Yes, this is a dog shit outfit. I'm sorry. It's so bad.
I don't think it's bad. I just don't think it's good.
With the haircut, it really doesn't work.
Really bad with the haircut.
I think without the mask, I might like it more.
You'll see it without the mask later.
It feels like the mask and the rest of it come from 2 separate outfits.
It feels like she's taken golden tape and just taped it to normal clothes, and that's just a biker jacket that she's dyed.
Well, but no, that's my point. Is get rid of the mask and it just comes across as like a biker outfit, and
Yeah.
I'm totally cool with
Do
it.
you remember how things ended with Yuri? Why is she Wraith?
Oh God! Oh, does she have a name now?
Her name is
Yes.
Wraith.
Okay. If I remember right, in the DLC, she was leading a task force against somebody.
Hammerhead.
Hammerhead. Lots of cops died. She wanted to kill the cops, and now she has twisted sense of justice.
Yeah, she's that. Long and short, yeah, she now thinks that
Vigilante.
the system doesn't work.
She's all about the killing now, baby.
Yeah, she says the lowlifes call me Wraith. Fits pretty well, I think. Pete says he tried to get in touch. What has she been doing? The roof begins to collapse because we've been having sort of firefights with these people. And Pete gestures at the unconscious cultists all around them. They made their choice, she replies and leaves. Pete rescues the gang himself. He has to rescue like 6 of them at once. You
Yeah.
see a cutscene of like a web sticking to a wall and 6 guys all flying against it at one time. But Yuri's disappeared. Cut back to Miles and MJ tracking Felicia across the city. He finds a postcard with a picture of Paris with a message to say, "My reason for being." He also finds a manual for something called the Wand of Watum.
Ooh.
With some research, MJ believes that the wand can be used to open portals.
Fun.
We follow the hunters, who are also tracking Black Cat, of course, to the Sanctum Sanctorum.
I was literally just about to ask if we're going Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
But I
Home
didn't
of
want
the
to.
Sorcerer Supreme. Hunters have the building surrounded, and Miles takes them out.
So are the Avengers going to start becoming like
No.
okay? So they're about because they exist, but
Yeah, it's a Spider-Man game. Though.
This is here so that we can do a really cool chase.
I forget. Was this
We've already got one of those.
Hey.
is this same universe as the Avengers game?
No.
That was shit.
No.
I wonder if they'd ever make Insomniac make an Avengers game.
Well, they're making a Wolverine game next.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care about that. I don't like Wolverine.
Oh, that's a shame. Wolverine rocks.
Wolverine's
I mean,
awesome.
he's
Anyway.
fine.
He's
Magic
amazing.
exists in this world,
He has claws.
and the
Ever
Wand
read
of
a comic?
Watum. I have some. Do you want to borrow some Spider-Man
He's
comics?
excellent.
I've got so many.
We know full well how that has gone in the past. They will sit on my kitchen table.
I've got Craven's Last Hunt, actually. I think you might like that one. Anyway, continue.
A portal opens in front of the Sanctum, and Black Cat emerges.
Yes.
It's a great fit. Looking at Miles, she smiles. Little spider wants to play, huh? She opens another portal with the wand, so she's holding the Wand of Watum that she obviously just nicked, and winks at Miles, leaping through it. We swing after her as a chase ensues. MJ, she stole the wand, and magic is real.
I'm sorry, you fought Mr. Negative and now you're like, and magic is real.
I know, it's a good point.
The entire demon plotline.
At least, well, I was going to say most of his magical stuff is mostly in people's minds, but he does have that kind of energy powers as well.
Yeah, I don't know. You just assumed it was bioelectricity.
Also, I don't know how to
something.
feel about the fact that the portals made by the Wand of Watum are literally the same portals as the MCU Swing
Yeah.
Ring portals.
Yeah. So we chase through the city. You're absolutely right. There's portals opening up. We can leap through and follow them. Suddenly, we're in the different parts of the city. Suddenly, we're in an office building, and a train is portaled towards us. Suddenly, we're in the Arctic.
It's all really smooth. It's the Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. tech.
Why are there seagulls in the Arctic?
Why not?
Okay.
I don't know if it's the Arctic. It's just an icy
It's a
bit.
cold place.
With seagulls.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not
Those
there. Maybe
rats are everywhere.
You know what? I'm gonna Google right now if seagulls are in the Arctic. Continue, Neil.
they certainly are.
I think they are. Yeah.
Of course they are.
The
Half of
wing-
Canada's in the Arctic.
The winged rats.
And we are then, back in the city.
I do think it's very funny that this fight was absolutely just there to be a PS5 tech demo.
Yeah, 100%. And it works. We're back in the city.
They're not seagulls. They're glacius gulls when they're in the Arctic.
There's no such thing as a seagull. There are only gulls.
Oh, yeah, true.
We call them seagulls.
Well, this is a glacius gull.
Even though they don't come from the sea.
They don't
usually
come from
come
the sea.
from the beach boardwalk.
Chased by a hunter ship back in the airship back in the city, Felicia portals into the ship, like appearing in front of the goons, takes them out and portals back out as it crashes to the ground. Awesome.
Do we just get like magic Black Cat now?
Well,
That's just who she is now.
Miles tells her the wand could take us right to Craven. This was never about Craven, she replies. You won't help me stop this guy? You're Spider-Man. You've saved the city before. You'll do it again. Spider-Man was right about you. You only care about yourself.
Yeah.
This looks like it stings her. Look, kid, not that it's any of your business. My girlfriend's in Paris. I got her into trouble with some bad people. Have you ever done something for love? She needs me, now. If only I could figure out how to portal more than 10 feet with this thing.
Are we meant to know who that is?
No.
it's
Also,
just-
I'm sorry. She needs a magic wand. She couldn't just get a plane ticket.
she needs to get there and now.
Yeah, she got like a call and she's like, right, she's in trouble
MJ
right now.
I feel like this is such a more convoluted way to get there. This is going to take so much more time.
Chase,
how long is it going to take to figure out how to...
cool chase through the port with portals. Don't censor me.
You're worse with the I am. Fuck you.
Hey, you have to edit this, so...
Pete says that MJ said not to trust you. Red's a smart one, she says. But you got to make your own choices, kid. We're interrupted by some more hunters, and we team up with Felicia and her portals to take them out. So we get an awesome kind of duo takedowns while they're both jumping through portals, taking out guards. With the hunters dealt with, Spidey and Felicia both put their hands on the wand together. She tells Miles to focus. Think Eiffel Tower. Between them, a portal opens up. Sure enough, Paris is on the other side.
Yay.
Yeah.
She's going to become Spider-Man.
Yeah.
She backflips through the portal, leaving Miles with the wand.
Okay.
Yeah, she wasn't lying. She's needed to get there to save her girlfriend.
Are we meant to know who her girlfriend is?
No, it's just a reveal that she's in a committed relationship.
Fair enough.
Just some woman.
Some woman.
It's a disappointment, really.
Au revoir, Felicia, Miles says.
Wow.
She smiles back, thank you, and the portal closes. Miles retreats to a rooftop, and he stares at the wand. Show me Lee, he tells it. It begins
That's not Craven. You're meant to go for Craven.
Well,
He
exactly.
wants revenge on Lee. It begins to glow before vanishing suddenly from his grip. In its place appears a note. Sorry, just got back from Nepal. The doctor and I owe you one. Wong. So there goes our that route to get.
Hey, he's
to-
got a favor that you can call in from Doctor Strange now, though.
It's true.
Is that ever going to become a thing?
Maybe. Sorry. Woo! All right, what?
It's time
Oh.
for the second round of Swing
or
Miss. We now have a couple of Miles suits to show
Ooh.
you. First up, the Crimson Cowl.
I think I've realized the biggest thing I don't like about block color suits.
Right.
It's always the pants. Because take away the pants, I really like the top half. I don't like the bottom. I'm also really bothered by the fact that this like leather jacket is different from the spandex color. It's a different colored red.
I really like the Crimson Cowl. I like the hood.
I'm also, maybe it's just because I'm imagining he's wearing like a full onesie suit, and then the leather jacket just has a weird armpit hole.
I always like it when when the suits look like one suit rather than two pieces of a suit. I always prefer that personally.
I will give this a swing, but it is a very light.
Tenuous.
It's a tenuous swing.
Cool. We're low on web fluid, that kind of swing. Next up, the Miles Strike suit.
Why does he look like Endeavor from My Hero Academia?
I don't know what that means.
I follow you. I don't see it, but I follow you.
He's got a big collar. He's got a sort of very textured mask. Big gauntlets. We're feeling mixed on this one again.
It is, as a superhero suit, a swing. As a Spider-Man suit, a miss.
It is the
Interesting.
second worst suit in the Insomniac series.
I don't hate it if it was any other character. It just doesn't, like, it doesn't give Spider-Man.
It's garbage. I hate
It does.
this suit.
You're right. It's not Spider-Man.
I hate the
But
gauntlets.
I do like it as, like, if it was like a punchy-based superhero, great. 10 out of 10. Also, that's not a spider. That's like a cricket.
It's a critic.
Why does it have? It has a very separate head that I'm pretty sure these are meant to be its top arms, but that is very much just antennae.
It only has 6 legs. I've just
No,
realized.
that's because there's 2 up there that look like antennae, but I
Oh.
think it's meant to be the front legs.
The 8 flags with a collar. It's such an awful suit. Get it off my screen.
Yeah, that one's a miss.
Pure garbage.
Genki calls us and tells us
Oh, this game needs more Genki. I
called-
miss Genki.
we're about to see him.
Good.
He tells us to check out. He tells us. Chase is flipping off the screen because they've seen a name they recognize. Genki rings us to tell us we should check out Coney Island. He says that Mysterio, not long out of prison, has opened a new attraction there. Haley will also be there, and he says we should really ask her out. You're made for each other.
I'm sorry. Known criminal. And everybody's like, we're going. Also, known criminal managed to get
Do you
an
think
arena of
criminals-
this
do you
size
think-
on Coney Island.
Do you think criminals should not be allowed a chance at
No.
a second life?
Wrong. Incorrect. That's not what I said. Known supervillain.
Well, we don't know who he is in this universe.
Okay, so
He was a criminal.
He has also
okay,
the
but also
Mysterium.
he is called Mysterio,
Yeah.
the supervillain.
Yes.
Not Quentin Beck,
Yes.
the
He is he
Criminal.
was Mysterio.
Don't know what
Yeah.
you're talking about, Chase. Mysterio is clearly not up to something here. He is a good guy, and he's doing good things.
He is. He is and he is.
I don't know what that means. He's doing things, and he's a good guy.
I mean, he legitimately is. Do you remember this plotline?
He's a good guy.
and
Why are you
he's-
doing this bit?
And he's
I've
gonna
lost
reveal the
control of this show.
He's gonna reveal the
Yeah.
my ears. Turn it down.
We head to Coney Island, to the fun park. Genki and Miles approach Mysterio's exhibit, the Mysterium. Quentin Beck,
Creative.
dressed in his Mysterio finery without the helmet,
is-
without the fishbowl.
Ugly.
I love this
I love
fit.
it.
I think it's a great fit.
Ugly.
great.
He should be. What's his name?
I don't know who.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
He should be Jake Gyllenhaal.
He is never Jake Gyllenhaal in the comics. He's always a bloke.
Unfortunate.
Usually a slightly larger bloke as well than Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal hot though.
Also, that character very much wasn't the Mysterio from the... And that's fine. I really liked what they did there. He wasn't the master of illusion. He was drones and tech and,
But he was illusioning with them.
He was.
So is he like?
No, he is also...
MCU Mysterio is like techie Mysterio. Is he actually magic?
No, he's techie
He's
Mysterio.
techie as well.
Oh,
But,
okay.
I'm just saying that, it wasn't... Neither was that movie version particularly... This looks a bit more like a Mysterio. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Anyway.
Quentin Beck, dressed in his finery, stands in front of the next generation of entertainment. With him is Betsy, his business partner, and Cole, his technical advisor. Miles makes his way to head inside. Mysterio seems very excited about this. A brave young man, ready to experience the future firsthand. Miles heads inside. He puts on a headset. And
miss.
puts on a headset, and as we walk towards the center, a kind of VR auditorium, Mysterio says he's scanning our mind, our hopes and our dreams. Mysteriums like this are being built all over New York. Miles looks down in amazement as a VR suit sort of covers his body from his mind, almost like in Miles's sort of dream sequence here. He's going to be a DJ in front of a busy nightclub crowd, but the scene quickly cracks, revealing Martin Lee, sword in hand. We charge at him, and Miles fights off digital renditions of demons. Quentin calls us on the headset. He's like, "We're having a malfunction! Oh, what's happening? We can't see you!" We fight demons through the fragmented nightclub scene. It's kind of floating bits of nightclub, and we're thwipping between them.
Probably a good thing they can't see him. Otherwise, he's just gonna find out that this is Spider-Man.
Quentin tells us that if we can finish our DJ set, it should reset everything.
Wow.
We play a sick set, and an enormous glitter ball smashes the scene apart. Miles is thrown free from the Mysterium. Quentin apologizes profusely. He seems horrified and immediately closes the exhibit.
Oh.
Um,
Good guy, Mysterio.
This is a side quest for Miles. There are more Mysteriums around the city. I don't know if you want to.
They're combat challenges.
Yeah.
They're really cool combat challenges. You step inside and there's always someone lost in there who's like, "Oh, something's gone wrong with my vision. I need help. And you jump in to fix their problem. It's a combat challenge against demons or Mysterio-style guards. And when you do them, Mysterio also shows up.
I'm here for it.
And it's almost like an AI generated Mysterio or something. It's weird how it's played, and he flies around and he's shooting skulls at you, and you fight him in the combat challenges. They're really cool.
And the conclusion to the Mysterio quest is that there is something nefarious going on here, but Mysterio has been manipulated by his business partners.
Yeah.
He is sincerely trying to make a go of this on the straight and narrow, but
The business partners fuck with the tech? Is that why they get
To get credit card details off the people that go inside.
Wow.
And they're using Mysterio's
actual legitimate normal crime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Using Mysterio's villainy to almost like attract people into the inside. Yeah, it's crazy. Really
absolutely.
Good. It's a beautiful scene. Do you have the closing scene at all?
No.
No, that's fair. Just a quick thing on it then. There's just a gorgeous line in there. After you end up saving Quentin Beck from Betsy and Cole, you do a big Mysterio boss fight that's really cool and it's all illusions. And afterwards, there's a moment where they sit together and Miles is basically like, so are you like reformed? What's going on? And Mysterio says, Mysterio will always be a villain. Just like Spider-Man is always a hero. It's when you take the masks off that things get complicated. And it's a nice, again, with what we're looking at in this game. It's just a really lovely line.
Outside, Harry and MJ approach with Pete in tow, and we are all introduced. See, Harry hasn't met Genki and Miles. When Genki sees Pete, he is still in kind of hero worship mode at the moment, so he's like, cool shirt, cool shoes, really cool shoes, cool everything, really.
Cool jacket.
Yeah.
Subtle.
Yeah.
Harry doesn't know that Miles is Spider-Man?
No.
No, okay.
No, he doesn't.
Actually, he doesn't know Peter's Spider-Man, assumedly.
Nope, doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
How could you not tell me your secret about getting healed in the city? Why didn't you tell me your fucking secret about Spider-Man?
Yeah.
We're best friends. You'll tell this random high schooler?
Miles-
Not me?
Miles is a little shaken from what happened in the Mysterium. He obviously fought a digital version of Martin Lee, so he heads home. We switch to Pete, and the three best pals enter the Funfair. This is probably for a lot of people, the most memorable mission in the game. We literally wander around this beautifully rendered Coney Island Fair, and we can play
that is
attractions, we can ride the rides. Harry describes this as a greatest hits album of our childhood, and the top three singles, each of their favorite attractions. We play the Water Pistols game, ride some rides, shoot some hoops. Pete very occasionally using his spider senses to get an edge to win some of the more unwinnable games.
Depending on how you're playing, I never did that.
Well, there's like the knock over the
Well,
cans.
aren't
where-
you just such a great person?
There's points when you're doing competitions against Harry, and every single time I always let Harry win.
You really
Well,
just have the
for-
moral high ground here, don't
The,
you?
knock-
do.
the knocking over the cans is one where you either hit them or you don't. And if you knock over the cans, the guy in the booth goes, you can just hear him go, that's not possible. Pete and MJ play the love game where you put your hands on a platform and it kind of, I think I might have it on here. It's supposed to show you how compatible you are.
Snackable.
Well, it goes all the way back down, and their relationship gets a dead in the water score. They say they doubt it's a very sophisticated machine.
I fear that's foreshadowing. I don't like that you moved along with that, but keep
Well,
going.
what am I going to say? Yes or no? You know, I'm telling you what happens. At the go-kart track, we find the track being attended by Tombstone. He works there.
Okay.
Lonnie no longer runs a gang and is working at the fair.
Yeah.
Seemingly the mechanic for the track. A go-kart flips and crashes into another one, and he runs onto the field and helps the man up.
Nice.
And the assembled crowd all applaud for him, and he smiles to himself. And
Aw.
it's the cutest fucking thing.
It's a proper
in the
hero
world.
moment. It's so great.
Yeah.
Like it's really framed as like a da 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 da. Like he runs in like a hero to save him. It's fantastic.
Yeah, this is, if we can just go and do the essential ones of these. If we do every ride and every attraction, you get enough tickets to buy one of these hat and glasses combos for the whole crew. Is very goofy, and you will be wearing this as you do the rest of this
Marvelous.
section. Yeah.
I really want one of these stuffed mushroom guys in the background.
They're cute.
Where can I buy one?
I'm afraid this is a video game. I'm so sorry. Oh no! Do you want us to let you do this first, or
No, keep going.
it's just quite a visual part of the game?
Yeah, it's just a cute moment. It's yeah.
I found basically the exact one.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
$7.99 at Waterstones.
Proud of you. That's a shout out for Waterstones, everybody. Next.
Sitting on the swing ride together, you know, you sit in those swings side by side and it brings you up, and you've been on one of those.
I hate them. I refuse to touch them.
MJ asks Pete how it feels. What? Being so handsome and charming, he says. No, being Peter for a night. I like it. We could have more nights like this. She says they will. Oh, they always say they will, but let's pinky promise this time. MJ's waiting to see if her report has made it into the front page of the Bugle. She heads off to get some popcorn. The boys catch up. Harry says how good it is to be back. He knows that life is pretty tough and hectic for Pete and MJ right now, and asks if they're okay. Harry says he wants to have his birthday here at the fair. He never thought you'd get more of those. We play a hammer swing strength test. There's you can see the gang in the. We won them some headdresses as well. Pete manages to get the bell to ring with the hammer and passes it over to Harry, warning Harry not to hurt himself. The only thing that's going to hurt is your Parker pride, Harry tells him. MJ cuts across the two of them and she's like, boys, you're both very pretty. Harry brings the hammer down and the bell is sent flying from the top of the machine into the air.
Jesus Christ.
Landing with a dull clang at their feet. The gang look on in amazement and the guy running the stall looks on in horror. He says he has no idea how he did that. We finish our night on...
As the little symbiote hides back in his sleeve.
We finish our night on the big wheel. MJ snuggling into Pete. You look really happy, she says. He says he feels like he's getting a second chance. Just as they're about to smooch, her phone buzzes. It's the Bugle. Front page article by a new guy.
No, she's fired.
Entitled Hunters and Scorpions and Explosions. Oh my. It's already got 5,000 views. She says she has to start writing a different kind of story, something to get Jonah's attention. They smooch. When I was getting the screenshots for this, it struck me again how far video game kisses have come, even since the PS3 era was almost the least good, because at least with like PS2 or PS1 they just smash their faces together.
Yeah.
But then you get to that period where they're like trying to get it accurate and it just looks awful. Like
I always remember Mass
dead
Effect
fish.
because Shepard and Mass
yeah.
Effect would always pout first and
Yeah.
then lean in, and the lips would almost move
Whereas
so independently.
at this,
It's weird.
It just looks like two real people kissing. It's great.
Yeah.
There is a real step up in the facial animation of this one. It's one of those games where you feel like for the first time that it's not like we've had muscle movement for a long time, but it feels like, and it sounds gross to say, but it looks great. It feels like there is a layer of skin and there is muscle underneath moving. You know what I mean? Like
It's
the way
a
we do.
beautiful game.
I do. It's just weird wording.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yes, these muscle people, they're all doing really well for themselves.
because we
With their
can't
layers of skin.
because we can't have one single goddamn good and nice thing. The hunters emerge into the park. They surround Tombstone as he tinkers with a go-kart.
let him be a goodie.
From the big wheel, Pete's sense goes off and he masks up, still with his cowboy hat on top. We fight through the Coney Island Funfair. Hunters attempting to pin down Spider-Man and Tombstone emerge with new sort of electrified nets, shooting them, trying to capture them.
Tombstone's helping us.
Yeah, we're kind of saving him, really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh,
you
what
can see
suit is
we're
that?
that's the 2099. We looked
like
at it
it.
last time. That's
the Miguel O'Hara one.
Miguel O'Hara.
Oh, do we have all of the suits from last
Yeah,
time?
you get
Almost.
There's like
Almost.
60, 70, 80 suits.
80 suits, yeah.
And a lot of them have color palette swaps as well. Most of which are dreadful, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's like, how about this suit, but in blue? No, thank you.
We're not going to give you the fantastic Bagman suit or the Boxer's suit, two suits I really loved from the first game, but you can do Spider-Man, but he's pink now. Okay.
There are more suits than were in the
There are
first
more
game.
than that, yeah, and some of them are beautiful.
Yeah, so we fight across, riding on the roller coasters, and we can see like explosive arrows hitting the side of it as we ride along it. Eventually, explosions kind of ensue, rocking bits of the park and collapsing parts of roller coasters. Pete has to stop a runaway coaster and a collapsing Ferris wheel. Pete is kind of dangling two whole roller coaster trains, one from each arm with webbing. I think I've got a picture above a pit of fire.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's really bad. He grunts with the exertion just as the Ferris wheel lands on top of him. Unable to hold everything together, he kind of puts both of these in one hand and holds the Ferris wheel with the other. The trains begin to slip out of his grasp. People are like climbing up them to get out, but there's still like a woman at the back of it. Realizing he's about to fail, and this woman's about to die, he like makes eye contact with her and begs forgiveness, like says sorry. It's really fucking horrible. Just then, Black goo emerges to lift part of the Ferris wheel off him as Harry, empowered by his new friend, lifts the structure off Pete. I'm going to say the word tendrils a lot
He
today.
whips out his 19 inches.
Pete, he's
Those tendrils are more than 19 inches.
Damn right they are.
Pete pulls the two survivors up and then helps Harry kind of web up the flaming infrastructure. Harry looks at his own hands in amazement, and Pete swings them both away. We gotta talk. We sure do, Harry spells at him, Spider-Man. Harry says he thinks the tendrils are part of his treatment, as if they've heard arms of goo emerge from the back of his suit in acknowledgement. Harry says Dr. Connors says it's some kind of self-learning exosuit. You know what this means, right? We both have superpowers. Think about all the stuff we can do to save the world. A tendril launches from Harry's arm, thrusting upwards towards Pete, who dodges out the way. Harry apologizes. He hasn't really figured out how to use this thing yet. Pete thinks it's a shame neither of them have a state-of-the-art science lab where they could run some tests on this thing. We call Miles to tell him what happened, and Harry calls us to say the Foundation is clear if we want to go by and run some tests. Pete calls to say that Pete's on the phone with Harry, and he says that he'll swing by the Foundation. Harry laughs at this. He's like, swing by. Oh my God, how many times have you said that to me and meant it literally? Pete arrives at the Emily May Foundation to find it empty apart from Harry, standing at the top of the atrium. Hey Pete, watch this! He backflips off the top of the railing and falls 10 feet, like literally the second before he hits the ground. Black tendrils emerge at the last second to break his fall. Come on, let's see what else these things can do.
What a moron.
He leaps high into the air towards the office with Pete swinging closely behind. In the office, Harry wonders why Pete told MJ but not his best friend. He says it very good-natured. It doesn't sound bitter. He's just curious. Pete says it was to protect him, and Harry seems to understand. They start to run some tests, Harry attempting to control the wild outbursts of the tendrils into something more focused. As Harry cracks the glass walls of their office with one, Pete says he's going to put some coffee on. It's going to be a long night. The next morning, Norman Osborn arrives to find an utterly ruined office with our two tuckered out boys sleeping on the couches. What the hell happened here? We were just going over some experiments. Where's Dr. Connors? Maybe he took the day off? No, says Norman. He doesn't take days off. Pete makes some awkward excuses and leaves. Black Cat calls us from Paris. She knows where Tombstone is being held and figures she owes Spider-Man a favor. Pete catches up with Wraith, who has been tracking members of The Flame. She says they seem obsessed with something called Crimson Hour. What, the hottest new club in Hell's Kitchen? Quips Pete. She stares at him blankly. We infiltrate a flame base together. Spidey and Wraith can do some double takedowns, which is kind of cool. Wraith saying she's better now, more steady. They're searching through cultists looking for what do they have to some of them have tattoos in their arms that open doors for them.
It's a load of cult nonsense. Puzzles.
Spider-Man asks Yuri if she has any tattoos. Just one of Spider Cop's gravestone, she says.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, she made it funny. She's not lost her sense
She
of
kind
humor.
of made it funny,
That's
even if
funny.
it was dark. Yeah, yeah, maybe there's hope. The cult are holding unwilling victims in cells. Trust the flame, they tell them, for everything burns. As we free the prisoners, a projector flicks into life, and a ginger, red-heady man appears on the wall behind us.
Am I meant to know who that is?
We really need to stop meeting like this, Yuri. People will think you're trying to kill me. Never thought you'd be able to trick anyone into joining one of your little clubs again, she retorts. Love is not a trick. None of this is love. I extended my hand when nobody else would. I doubt you or the fool's beacon here would have done the same. But what would it take for you to love me? She says maybe if he tells her where he's hiding, she'll show him. The old hospital north of Astoria. Stop by any time. Yuri starts to make her way to the hospital, but Pete warns her, this is the most obvious trap I've ever seen, and I fought Trapster.
That's a thing?
It's a line. Yeah. I
He's-
fought a
he's
guy
a-
called Trapster.
So no shame Trapster isn't in this game, to be honest.
She agrees to do it his way a little bit. She'll scout ahead to the hospital and call before she gets some more information. Pete finds another massive hunter base in an old smelting sort of factory. He fights his way through a wave of hunters. Just as a particularly large hunter with a pair of swords emerges, there's a bang as a black-clad spider person smashes through the roof.
I'm sorry, so he's stealing his aesthetic.
Landing awkwardly and tendril punching the man with the swords to the ground. Pete and Harry work through the base together.
Yay.
What better way to learn than on-the-job training, Harry says. I've never felt so strong.
I love the shoulder pads.
Yeah, it's Agent Venom, really,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
Kind of. It's a nod to Agent
Agent Venom, but not as bulky.
Yeah. So he's kind of followed us here of his own volition. He wants to learn from us. Pete warns him that there's more to this job than this. Pete's had to make some hard choices over the years. Containers of molten liquid swing precariously over their heads. Swing precariously over their heads as the duo tornado tag team their way through teams of hunters. Harry points out that we're here to save a supervillain. It's kind of weird. Reformed villain, Pete corrects him. Tombstone wants to change and I want to help him. Harry is very enthusiastic. He's not great yet, but he's very enthusiastic and strong. And charges in before Pete can stealth sneak into a room. He cautions Harry to work smarter. As they work through the fiery factory, Harry says that in this suit he can barely feel the heat. He's not breaking a sweat. During the fight, a high-pitched alarm begins beeping at one point, and Harry is immediately floored by this. It's like a high-pitched noise. Harry collapses, the suit kind of writhing over his body in pain. Pete gets Harry away, and he recovers quickly.
It's a thing from the comics, Chase. You know, it's obviously high-pitched frequencies. Symbiote doesn't like it. But the flame
I
thing...
did not know that. No.
Yeah.
That's in the movies. The fire thing is another of the symbiote's weaknesses, fire, extreme heat. So the reason why they put this in, by the creator's own admission, was literally just to spell out, by the way, fire, not a kryptonite to the
This
symbiote,
venom.
to this venom. It's only frequencies. It's only high-pitched noises.
And different in a lot of ways. Venom's a good guy, look.
Yeah.
Well, you could
During the fight...
argue that is always how it starts.
Yeah. So, during defeating one of the last of the waves, Harry says he's beginning to feel out of his depth. Is Pete sure we can do this? Of course, says Pete. We're the spider pals. They kick open the door to the middle of the factory. Tombstone is being held in a container in the middle of the room. Pete's going to distract the guards and Harry will try breaking him out. Tombstone explains when they reach the barred cell that if they try to break the bars, a rigged container will blow and the lava molten metal will just spill out everywhere and fill his cell and fill the room. Harry rather enthusiastically tries to destroy the mechanism controlling this, but isn't as big-brained as the other spider boys, and the room and Tombstone's container begin filling with molten metal. What did I just tell you, says Tombstone. Sorry, says Harry, it's my first day.
I love Spider Pals as a name.
Yeah. They try and break through the bars, but they can't. The room's collapsing around them. Harry, again, to prove that you've just kind of highlighted this, Monty, Harry just goes straight through the molten metal, foundry thing. Yeah. Gets into the inside of Tombstone's cell. Pete watches on in horror as Harry flies into this gap in a flaming furnace, but he crashes through into the cell, the room quickly becoming submerged. Harry strains with all his might against the bars of the cell, flashing in his mind suddenly to being submerged in that damn container in his father's lab. With this kind of newfound strength, more tendrils join his fingers, and the bars of the cell explode outwards, freeing them. Is this job always so stressful? Yoga helps. We escape the exploding factory at the last second. Tombstone is out of breath as he turns to Pete. The only downside of going straight? The game keeps you in shape. See you around, Spider. They shake hands. Before this, Tombstone tells him he's expecting them now. There's places he can go where he knows he'll be able to defend himself. See you around, Spider. They shake hands. Pete tells Harry he did a good job, but Harry feels like he was just messing everything up. You were, says Pete, but in the best possible way. They go to bump fists, and as they do, tendrils emerge from Harry's arm and attach themselves to Pete's,
Probably not good.
wrapping around his hand. They pull themselves apart, And Harry apologizes. He's still trying to work out how this suit thing goes. As they pull apart, the suit has formed a white spider on the chest all of a sudden after that little interaction. Nice design, Pete points out, gesturing at Harry's chest. Harry looks surprised but not unhappy about this. I guess we really are spider pals now. Harry heads off to the lab. He wants to see if Dr. Connors has shown up. Remember, he didn't show up for work today.
There is a in-canon reason why he has a spider. And it don't... Why?
Well, why Venom has a spider on
Yeah.
him? Well, it's... The reading is it gets it from when Pete wore the symbiote. And it just liked it. Is honestly the main explanation.
I have a reason for it in this game.
I'd watched like an entire video on this one. So
There's a reason I think this game implies, but we
100%.
can't really talk about it till later.
Yes. Yeah.
I meant in the comics, not in the game.
There's a particular way that I like
Because
to
Pete has
read.
it first.
Yeah. There's a particular way that I like to read the symbiote in this game, and I think we might subscribe to the same reading of it, but we'll talk about it later on.
Yeah. Cool. Heading over to Miles, he stops by Rio's office. She wants to check in. After pressing him a little bit, her son confesses that he's been feeling very stressed lately. There is so much to do in this city, plus the college essay. Plus, Pete has been so busy recently and Martin Lee is out there. Doesn't that bother her? Of course it bothers me, she says, but I'm committed to making this community better. I've got to let go of things that don't serve me and focus on where I want to go, not where I've been. Miles says he thinks he understands, but he can't let go of Lee. She gets a call. Her friend Angela is locked out of her job at the Harlem Cultural Center. It's a museum, basically. Miles says he'll go and help, but Rio reminds him that he just got finished saying how busy he is. Miles says he's always got time for his community, and you've never seen a more proud look on a mama's face before. So we head to the Harlem Cultural Center. We don't really have a picture, but this is Rio's friend, Angela. And this is a donor that Angela is supposed to be showing around the museum. The museum's struggling a bit at the moment. They need a donation. However, the security system appears to have locked them out, so they can't get in to do this tour. With the help of the spider bot, we help Angela reroute the security system. Turns out, a criminal gang is inside, mid-robbery. As we go around the cultural center, Rio calls us to ask us how we're doing. So the cultural center, its purpose in this game, Chase, is the cultural center is a history of music from Harlem. We learned that Miles is wanting to study music technology at ESU. He's a DJ and a kind of technology genius. And Rio's kind of telling him as we go around how important it is to know the history of music as well. And Miles is like, nah. Miles is basically like, nah, I have a computer. We have computers now. That's what we do with music technology. And Rio's basically, this plot is there for him to learn about the musical heritage of his community. We find actual like instruments from actual musicians from Harlem, like the forefathers of funk. And Rio explains how that, like, they were sampled into hip hop beats.
And Miles's mind is blown by the fact that funk is the origins of hip hop.
Absolutely. This is a nice cultural and educational thing.
We get to check in on a bunch of the side characters from Miles Morales too. Like Teo's here. I don't know if you're going into detail any of this, but is that later? Oh, sorry. Sorry.
It's fine. At the EMF, Pete gets a call from MJ. We can tell by her whispering tone that she's in sneaky investigative journalist mode. Bad news, she says. Connor's house is crawling with hunters, and the doctor is MIA. We cut to her.
Connor again?
Dr. Connors, Kurt Connors,
Okay.
the lizard, who is Harry's personal doctor.
Who is almost certainly about to become a boss fight. Probably the one I know.
We cut to MJ in the back of the truck. She's in the hunter's truck. As I say, it's sitting outside Connor's home. She's looking at a computer. Not knowing she's there, the hunters just go to pack up and shut the truck. She drops her phone out the back of the truck. They slam the door shut and drive away with MJ in the back.
GG.
Yeah.
GG, MJ.
Yeah. The hunters pull up to their destination and open the back door. MJ flies out and electrocutes one with a fucking stun gun. Electrocutes one with a fucking stun gun. MJ is now... We play as MJ a couple times again, but they have tried to enhance the experience. MJ can be a lot more proactive. She has a powerful stun gun that can be a one-hit kill on a lot of people if you sneak up. A one-hit KO.
MJ's a murderer now.
Yeah. It is more. I think it's much more compelling in this game.
It's much more compelling for sure. It's you play as MJ a few times.
Three times. I think?
Times. Two of those times are really good. This is one of those times. One of the times is, in my opinion, complete dog shit and should be cut, but we'll talk about it later. The in-lore universe reason for why she is a bit more badass is simple. Silver Sable trained her in
I was going to
Symkaria.
mention that.
Sorry, I didn't realize that was in your
Sorry.
script. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Stolen.
Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's not a big plot point, but she got this training, this gun, everything from Sable while she was there helping her. So we are here. We are actually at an abandoned zoo this time. And MJ sneaks her way through and, electrocutes one of the guards and says to herself, training with Silver Sable paid off sooner than I expected. MJ stealths her way in, except now that we can take down hunters with the gun. MJ finds a screen with a readout of Connor's DNA. Looks like the hunters are trying to, replicate his condition. Deeper into the zoo, she finds a familiar set of wings.
I was fucking right, and y'all have been trying to gaslight me.
What,
No,
gaslight
this
you
is
about
not.
what?
This is the only time we see these.
I don't believe you.
You've been saying falcon this whole time. These are vultures' wings.
Okay, you knew what I meant.
Vulture
I honestly
is
did
not in this game, and the reason is he's also dead. Craven killed him. So
Gaslighting me.
yeah, we find the familiar set of wings. Oh my god, says MJ. Vulture, how did they get him off him? She finds a tape
How did they
recorder,
get him off?
a diary, an audio diary from Craven. Another night tainted by the silence of death. I wasn't sure I could clip his wings. Perhaps that would be my weakness, but no, not even that could save him. She's dead. He's dead, MJ realizes.
Does he not like killing?
No,
He'll
it
find-
was
loves
easy. He
He'll
found it
find
too easy.
He found it too easy. Outside, a group of hunters are forcing Dr. Connors into a cage. Please, he begs. You don't understand. They chain him to the floor. There's dozens and dozens of hunters in this place. It's quite a big stealth map. You've got to stealth your way through using our journalism powers to find a code to unlock the cage and a key to unlock the chains that are holding him to the ground. She finds some other interesting items around the place. A desk with some familiar gauntlets, another recorder, another set with some other technology. They're experimenting with Electro's tech. And we learn through this chase that Craven has also killed Electro and Shocker. They're all dead. Craven killed them all.
Those two separate people?
Those are two separate people and are in multiple times in the previous games as separate people. With Electro, and with each of them we find an audio diary as well. Electro's one goes as follows. This one was a waste of my precious time, weak of body and mind. Perhaps this technology will be of use. The one about Herman Schultz, the Shocker, goes as follows. Dusk, 22 degrees. Put to rest with a blade to the sternum. He was nearly something. When he faced a predator, though, he did not try to prove himself superior. He fought only to survive. It was vicious, feral, sincere, but not enough. Even in death, his eyes stare into mine like he might try to kill me. But my luck has run out, and I am left again with no one.
Three things on that very quickly, sorry.
Yeah.
So first off, I do quite like the implication that out of all of the ones he's killed, Shocker's the one that
Shocker's
put up
the
the
one?
best fight.
Yeah, me too.
It's a little gag because obviously Shocker's a bit of a joke villain, but I really appreciate that. Also because in the comics at some point there's been a reference to basically if Shocker really fulfilled his potential, he could be the greatest supervillain ever is the implication, just because of his gauntlets. The second thing is, I made the comment in my critique, and is actually I was wrong there because, as you've rightly pointed out, Rhino is not here, right? But in the behind the scenes nonsense stuff chase, someone's broken the game and they found a throne room where Rhino's head is mounted on a wall with a throne.
Jesus.
Now the thing is that is not canon. That is separate, and there's no recording or anything of Rhino here. It's not a spoiler to say we don't see or hear about Rhino at all.
Yeah.
Which implies that Rhino is still alive in this universe. I hope he is.
Yeah. We to be fair,
Stealing his badass new red suit.
Well, we actually don't. The last we saw, Finn stabbed him and he was left dying. So that's
point.
like the last time we actually saw him, wasn't it?
Final thing in this is I want to know your thoughts on this, Chase, because we have just learned that Kraven has now killed officially 4 members of the Sinister Six. Only one of those was off screen, and the other 3 were relegated to optional collectibles in a Mary Jane Watson mission. What are your thoughts? It's a major criticism I have of the game. I think it's really frustrating. It feels like content was cut. I think that each of these villains should have been in this game in some way. But that's just a criticism I have.
I don't mind it.
Do you not?
I love those villains, but I don't mind that they're just sort of callously taken care of.
Yeah, I just think they should have been given a bit more pomp.
I think
Why? They died like dogs. They died with nothing, 3 of them.
Yeah, but
I can agree specifically with it should have been Peter finding out. But other than that, I don't agree.
you're happy with them just being tape recorders and equipment.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Clearly I'm alone in this. Fair enough, that's all. Sorry, continue. I just wanted to flag that.
I agree that they maybe shouldn't be so optional. Like maybe you have to find them because they yeah. I mean, it's a shame that some people would go through this and not realize how many of them have been, like you say, 4 of 6 have been
Just
killed.
wish 2 of the 3 we just learned where people are. I had to just Google pictures of them to remind myself who the fuck they were.
I don't think that's a game problem.
Definitely
I
not.
remember Vulture at least, because I still don't believe you that those wings aren't going to be a Chekhov's gun.
Why?
Because I fucking
We also have tables. I don't have pictures. We also have tables of electro and shockers technology.
Yeah, they also Chekhov's guns.
yes.
Right.
I think that the Kraven fight at the end is going to have every fucking gimmick.
MJ sneaks into Connor's cell and, having found the key to his shackles, begins to untie him. A look of horror grips the doctor's face as behind Mary Jane, Kraven emerges.
Daddy.
You know this beast? He's clearly been just stalking her the whole time. Like, he's probably been behind her the entire time she was here. You know this beast? His name is Kurt Connors. He's a good man. Kraven smiles and leans down. There are no good men. He fills a needle with luminous green liquid. Only good prey. MJ lunges at him with the stun gun, and he catches it effortlessly, seemingly unaffected when she lets off an electrical charge. He throws her aside and injects the doctor with the solution. Just then, our spider pals arrive.
About time.
Pete, rather uselessly thwipping the now empty needle from Kraven's hand. Sorry we're late. Kraven whistles, and hunters appear above with flaming torches. They throw the torches down into the enclosure. Connor says he thinks there's a lab in the atrium. If they can get him there in time, he thinks there could be a serum to prevent him from turning. Pete and Harry are busy with hunters, and MJ carries the doc into the building. The doctor's struggling, trying to retain his humanity. He's kind of trying to ground himself. You can see there a little bit of green creeping up his face. And he's sort of going, cages, fire, red hair, dirt beneath my feet. I can't do this. Yes, you can, MJ says. Tell me about your family. His skin begins to turn, scales creeping over his face. They find a bottle of antidote. Well, it's a bottle of serum. It's not really antidote yet. But a spear thrown from the hunter knocks it out of their hands, and it rolls to the feet of Kraven. Smiling easily, he picks up the serum and hangs it around his neck, drawing a hunting knife as he does. Connor says he's sorry and screams, a tail emerging from under his lab coat. Oh, there he is.
Oh, it's
There's
horrible.
a good bit of body horror here.
The gecko.
He's not nice, but it gets a lot worse. Kraven throws MJ aside, Pete racing in to confront him. Pete throws a punch, which is caught easily by the hunter, who, at the same time, drives his knife into Peter's stomach. It's legit. The same way he killed Scorpion.
Yeah.
He pulls...
Twist it.
He snaps the knife, pulling the handle out. Oh, Jesus. Jeez. Snapping the knife, pulling out the handle, and leaving the blade all up in there.
Yes.
Wow.
Weird
I'm
response
allowed-
to our hero getting potentially killed.
No, I enjoy steaks.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, okay, fair enough, yeah.
They're delicious.
Harry...
A little bit of peppercorn sauce.
Harry screams seeing this.
Harry's the peppercorn.
Harry screams seeing this, and enraged, sends an explosion of tentacles outward. I'll show you. There you go. There's some kind of scarier looking venom stuff coming in here. Kraven effortlessly holds a wounded Pete up with one hand. Not as venomous as they say. and throws him aside.
Harry, because he's not the venom spider.
Harry engages with the hunter, lashing out with his tendrils as MJ finds Pete and begins to like carry him out. Behind them, the lizard is transforming and makes his escape. As MJ carries Pete, that's him not looking great. As MJ carries Pete out of the zoo, he tells her that this feels not great. She tells him that, just think, it'll definitely be your coolest scar. MJ, I don't think... Am I breathing? Harry's kind of holding his own against Craven. His rage fueling him. Harry's like screaming like, I'll kill you. Do it then. Craven replies. Focus, Pete. One foot in front of the other. I'm sorry, says Pete. I was always so busy. Almost there. Hang on. Pete collapses, dying. Harry rushes to his side, having seemingly temporarily put Craven down. Come on, Pete, this is nothing. Remember in 5th grade, come on. But it's too late. Pete isn't breathing.
This compares to anything that would have happened in 5th grade.
Oh no, it's more like just think about like cling to a memory, cling to a moment, cling to here. Yeah.
It's too late. Pete isn't breathing. He's dead in their arms. Harry screams, fearing tears streaking down his face. Tendrils snake down Harry's arms, covering Pete's body as the suit leaves him. The black suit covers Pete head to toe before covering his face, taking on the familiar spider suit look. Pete sits up and gasps. What happened? His friends hug him as the hunters catch up with them. He tells MJ to get Harry out of there and turns to confront Craven's men. Pete demolishes them, he and his suit reveling in this newfound strength. Oh, this feels good. I guess your boss needs better aim. He's like a sledgehammer, smashing through the defenses. Ha! Shouts a hunter. You're just what Craven's been searching for. Then I feel sorry for him. Like Yuri Lowenthal puts like this incredible rasp to his voice. Pete looks at the unconscious goons around him, then at his hands in amazement. He leaves the zoo, going to join his friends, as Craven looks up in amazement from a rooftop. What are you? He addresses a goon. Track the lizard. The spider is mine. And that is where we're gonna leave it.
Aww. That was good. I know that I knew at some point the suit was going. Well, to be fair, I didn't actually know the suit was going to transfer. I just kind of assumed potentially they'd both have it. I don't know.
Yeah.
This was a good way for it to transfer over. I'm curious to see. So is Spider Pal's dead? Harry just no symbiote no more. Did Harry need the symbiote to survive? Is Harry going to start dying now?
Very good questions. Sincerely, very good questions.
Because hopefully then you'd assume one of those is like a genetic blood disease. The other is a knife wound. Surely once he's healed up the knife wound, he can give the suit back to the one who's dying considerably more severely.
Sounds like we're in for an easy second act.
Well, all right.
I want to thank you both for being friends.
Aw.
No, spider pals.
We're pals.
Spider pals. Yeah. And in the end, that means it more than any podcast. Bye, everyone.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye. Hi, Venom.
Fillet meal. I think it's a fillet meal.
I don't know,
I
Venom.
think it's
What do you
gotta
get?
be. Fillet meal with one-piece chicken, I guess. I'm gonna do regular fries. I'm gonna do gravy. I'm gonna do tango.
Somebody please cut this out as an
I'm gonna
outtake for like. Can this be the cold open?
I'm gonna do fucking hot wings. No, I'm good. I'm good on hot wings. Maybe like a fucking cookie. Holy shit! One cookie is 300 fucking calories.
Oh, don't say that. I can't, I'm not gonna have time to go to the gym tonight.
Oh god damn it! Are you getting cookies?
Probably.
I'll get one. I'll order one.
Thanks, Venom. Thank you.
No problems. Can I do the whole show like this? Across the city, Pete gets a call from Miles.
Venom, what do you think of Craven? Are you a fan?
I'm craving that.
Neil, you'll edit this. Please keep this in as an outro.
Oh, I don't know.